Boss, no, 6'3". Where I go, you know, the shooters coming.
Wait, hey, the crazy thing is, right? Loose Cannon posts the receipt of my bail from 77 talking about that's just a receipt. Like that's the only paperwork you get. Nigga, have you ever been to jail? That's showing you everything, you dumb motherfucker. I'm like, look at the thumbnail, me proving my innocence, and he's right here trying to say, be right.
First time this ever happened.
There's nothing
has to be true.
No jumper Freako coming soon on Plug Talk.
Confident? Yeah, I'm waiting for the chat to see it.
1,000 bottles ain't shit.
1,000 bottles ain't shit.
You gotta just change the title. Yeah, and I found a quick fix if you got the on my phone. Yeah.
Shit, I got enough time to take a bong hit in this bitch.
I mean, if the sound is back, nobody's acknowledging it.
I think the whole world just loves.
Refresh this chat. That might be the old chat.
I mean, why would it still be coming in?
That purple be coming in.
It's still the same file, right? It's not like we have to restart.
They say that the feds cut out the wires.
Okay, so we got a new one.
You want to have somebody in the chat about or somebody do the I was gonna say they said it's a new link. It might be over my head. I was about to say, should we put the link like tell them that
we're
about to reboot?
This is gonna end if it's actually gonna be like a whole new file.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I said we back.
Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna take the thumbnail by the way.
Yo.
We can just write part 1 on the first one and then part 2 on the second one, right? It seems like it's back.
Or let them keep clicking on both of them.
I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe.
We probably get more views confusing.
I wish we could take like the 2 files after the fact and like combine them.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That would be cool. That was cool. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
We got done.
Brick's dead. I'm crazy.
Yo, by the way, they took away too many views because somebody had the last pod we did last Tuesday. Someone bought fake streams, so we went up to 20K, and the shit went down to 65K. Like we had more numbers than that. They erased too much.
Wow, that's interesting because I noticed that last week's had like the lowest stream or the lowest view count, and it was the one where they bought hella fake views. But then somebody pointed out to me
the people that was there bought the fake views.
No, it was just somebody in the chat.
Yeah,
I have no confidence that we're actually alive though right now. Wait. I mean, I keep trying to use the mouse. No, but then somebody told me the same thing about back on Fig, that there was an episode where somebody bought views on that shit. And then they pointed out that the VOD was only like 18K, which is like way lower than they normally get.
Yeah.
So apparently that's all bad.
And we had decent views that episode because it was Ross live. So
yeah,
like, we were
they
like
probably
at 6K,
take that video out of algorithm. That's probably what they do. Like, I mean, like, because you already hit it, so it's like we ain't even gonna let it really.
You sure? I just can't tell if this chat doesn't seem real anymore.
Shadow ban content type shit.
But I feel like when they took away the views, like because they're like, oh, these aren't real views, they took away some that were actually real too.
But they might have came from that area that the fake views.
Right.
So like, say we had some real people in the chat from India, and a gang of fucking fake views roll in from that area. You know what I mean? They probably.
You gotta fix the title on this shit because it's some other random shit. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to put part 1 in the description of the first one, and then you got to change the title on this current live because it's got an ancient title of.
Just because it's
change the water.
All right, I just got to pop out this chat.
Because I put some bullshit in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, why does the chat look ugly? All right, I guess we're back.
Exactly, it is because basically what's happened is the OBS wasn't reading the roadcaster, and you needed a fresh connection, and all of a sudden
let's see if we're back.
Tech guy.
Okay.
Woo! I love a guy in the
All right, you can use it now. All right, people saying it's good now.
All right, we straight. So what
They said the audio's not muted. The audio was intercepted by the wire Bricc is wearing.
You guys are gonna make me blow my cover, guys.
So the last thing that we said before.
Well, let
All
them.
right, can we try to.
So what I was saying was that there's a lot.
Thank you, Hurley.
There's a lot of ambiguity around that text message that Durk sent.
Right.
Because you could either say that he was alluding to the fact that, hey, don't buy these, don't buy anything associated with me because I don't want to be implicated in this because I'm a part of it, or I got nothing to do with this. I don't want to know about
For
anything,
sure, yeah.
regardless of if someone's on the same flight as him or not.
That's not enough. However, that would definitely be something that would be combined with a lot of different stuff. In particular, the snitches. Feels like
Correct.
without the snitches, there's not a lot to really go on because it's not like there's going to be a fucking recording of the moment that Durk asked for them to go kill this dude.
And co-conspirator
Sure.
number 4's role is the guy who Durk hit up. Now, why would
Wait,
Durk...
we know that Durk hit him directly to
Correct.
get the location?
No. Co-conspirator before that, way before that, like originally, after Vaughn, what happened to, Vaughn was murdered, Durk made a call to co-conspirator number 4 and was like, we need to set this in motion. We need to, that's what the indictment is alleging.
It was
Okay.
like 5 people that was around when he said that.
Right. But,
It said it wasn't a call. It wasn't a call.
but
They said that it was. They met. It was 2, 5, 4, and 1.
right. And my question is, if co-conspirator number 4 is you, which is what people are alleging, why would he be reaching out to someone in LA when at that point it has really nothing to do with LA other than the fact that
He probably knew he wanted to get him in LA. It's like the most
Well, I
realistic
mean-
place to
him
do it,
being
right?
associated with 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, with Quando being from 6-0, they would probably think co-conspirator number 4 was somebody that would backdoor him from 6-0 or something. You
Well,
get what
yeah.
I'm saying?
So
But I don't know. It can't be me. Read the date.
so
Okay, but there's a lot
I
of.
was on the bunk.
Okay, you said you were in jail, but then I had a bunch of people today hit me up saying, no, actually, he was in Atlanta. He said he was in Houston. He was.
When what you call it died, I was in Houston. When Pop died, I was in Houston. When Vaughn died, I was in the county jail.
Okay.
yeah. So the around the time of
Matter of
that
fact-
initial conversation,
Did he die? I got transferred to Las Vegas County Jail probably the next day.
when
Because Draco had just got out of jail, like what, a couple days before Vaughn died?
I want to say Vaughn died July or August. I want to say July
I
of
thought it was
2020.
November.
Was it November?
Vaughn?
Yeah.
I mean, we
It
can
was
look it up right now.
It was
but-
definitely 2020.
It was October or some shit, 2020.
Yeah, it
for
was. It was
sure.
like, yeah, because it was like right before COVID.
Yeah.
No, it was during COVID. It was like actually like COVID had been cracking because I was already out of rehab.
Yeah, it was during COVID.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
I went
yeah,
to
it
rehab.
was
Yeah, it
during
was
COVID.
after I got out of rehab because Pop Smoke was killed when I was in rehab.
He died on November 6, 2020.
Okay. So it was around that time that conversation was had.
I didn't get released from Las Vegas to Clark County Detention Center till like November 21st.
Okay. And this is like one thing that this has really made me think about a lot. Okay. I'm going to pull it all the way back to when I was a kid. I remember my dad telling me that he had a friend who worked at a grocery store, and there was some guys who were doing some big weed deal or whatever, and they basically like wanted to like use the loading area at the grocery
A
store
little doc in the butt.
to do some sort of transfer or whatever. And his friend, who was the manager of the grocery store, said, "Yeah, y'all can do it. I'll be the lookout." Got some money, presumably, for allowing this to happen. Ends up getting rolled up when they get caught, and basically like ends up going to prison for like a long ass time. And my dad always used to tell me that, in the sense of saying, don't be a dude who puts together some ingenious fucking plan to try to make money because the cops are smarter than you.
Do you think the story is true
That story?
that your dad used to tell you?
some version of it. I don't know. Maybe the guy was more involved.
Yeah, I'm like, do you think he tells you that to tell you to mind your business, don't get in other people's business? Is it like a story
like a
that
parable.
was used? Yeah.
My dad had so little street experience that it's like I don't think he had any other stories like that. You know, it's not like he like really. He had never been involved in any like crazy criminal conspiracies
No, that's
himself,
not what I'm
besides the
saying,
one that
but,
got him a
like,
Fed
you know,
sentence.
like it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like one time it was a boy who cried wolf. Like me telling you this story, essentially, it might not be true, but it'll tell you like that type of shit
It's
happens.
to convey
in the
a
world.
message.
Fucking mind your business. Don't get involved with.
Okay,
nobody
well,
else.
I mean, I think he was telling me the story because he believed
that it was true.
That was true.
That's what I was asking. You think it was a real or?
I don't think he's creative enough to invent that story, to be totally honest. And I also don't know my dad to have ever lied about anything ever. To be totally real, like I just don't. It's like inconceivable to me that he could lie to me.
I wish I had your parents. They're like perfect. Like my dad would be like, "Hey, I never smoked weed in front of you. What are you talking about like that?" No, you used to roll up the windows and smoke menthol cigarettes with me in the car. Like, fuck the weed. The weed was minor. I used to like smelling that. What about fucking getting suffocated by a cool?
No,
with the heat on.
My dad's for sure never smoked weed in his life.
My dad used to smoke weed in high school and college and shit. But okay, as long as we're doing a little Adam's dad session. One time, a friend of mine got a job over the summer at this school doing maintenance or like janitor shit for probably some of that too. He's doing like janitorial work at this school over the summer. There's a dude, an older dude that he's working with, and the guy says to him, he goes, "Hey, you know Phil Grand Mason?" My friend's like, yeah, I know him really well. He goes, "That guy used to be a teacher when I was in college, and he would come in and teach every day, high as fuck,
like off weed."
Off weed, and my friend tells me this, and I bring it to my dad, and I'm like, "So I heard about you teaching classes high as fuck." His response is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He denied it so hard, up and down, still brings it up, still talks about it, knows exactly what dude this was, and still just like, to him, like the most mind-blowing thing ever, because he's such a law-abiding, rule-following guy that to him it's like the most mind-blowing accusation ever. However,
does his eyes get red and glossy?
Yeah, well, is he very deadpan delivery? Like,
because that's how I got away with smoking my whole life. My eyes always was red when I was a kid.
I feel like black dudes are better at smoking weed and getting away with it than white guys. I feel like as a white guy, it shows more when you're high. I look at Dub all the time, and I'm like, you don't really look that high to me, but I know you're high as fuck.
He looks high as
But compared to me, bro, if I face 2 blunts, oh Lord.
You guys get a new color, all type of shit.
Yeah, I look retarded. It's like a totally different person. But anyway, all right. The only reason so I said that thing about my dad and like him warning me not to take part in these kind of things. Now I think about myself. Let's say that it was pre No Jumper Adam. Let's say it's 2013, and I just so happen to be cool with Lil Durk. And Lil Durk hits me up, and I'm a fucking BMX blogger, BMX rider, and Lil Durk hits me up and says, "Listen, I know we've been cool. We've been homies for a year or two now. I need you to do something for me. I need you to wait outside this hotel room and figure out where Quando Rondo is staying at."
No problem.
I would have been like, "You're motherfucking Lil Durk. Of course I'm going to do that for you." And my dumbass would have never even fucking thought about what could possibly come from it.
Yeah.
And then when the dude died, I probably would have still not even been super worried. I probably would have been like, "Oh, shit, well."
But they had the business.
They did that.
They
Not me.
did that.
I just found out we were staying
So
at.
if Durk, if Durk tell you catch a body, then you'd be like,
what happens with the
Stop
feds?
leaking lyrics.
Hey.
I'm wagging my finger at you.
If the police pulls up, the feds pull up after that. Like, "Hey, bro, you conspired. You're going to jail for murder for hire." What do you say? They did that.
For sure, I'm ratting. Yeah. For sure. Because it's like,
I'm the white boy. I thought he wanted a feature. I went to find Rondo.
I might have tried to like not rat for a little bit, but I would have for sure. At some point, it would have been like, fuck, 20 years.
the prospect of facing time.
A couple $100,000 on a lawyer.
Would you rat, or would you just try to tell your way out of your situation?
Knowing
like,
me,
I didn't know. Or would you be like, I knew they were going to kill. They were going to kill at this time. Look, bro, I can even take you back to this. Or you going to try to just talk yourself like, man, fuck it. They did that shit. I didn't know nothing about it, but he asked me for
You
it.
get me that Italian beef and Pepsi because I'm yapping. I'm gonna be like that fake picture of OTF Jam looking up at the camera with my McDonald's right in front of me. Now, I mean, I like the idea of not telling, but realistically, as like a total non-participant who probably like wouldn't have understood what I was getting into, for sure, yeah.
All right, a scenario 2. I'm not gonna hit you with too many of them.
No,
so scenario 2.
Sure.
We at a party.
Yeah.
Lena and Kirsten's there too.
Uh-huh.
This dude comes out of nowhere not with a knife because it's self-defense, or this dude comes out of nowhere disrespectful, damn near life-threatening to the girls. I knock him down right in front of you.
Mm.
But his back was turned, so now I'm fighting the murderer. I didn't shoot him in the front for self-defense.
Okay.
The whole situation transpired because Adam had a conversation with this man to the side. The police come holler at you.
I don't think I've done anything illegal in this situation, and I don't think I have any incentive to tell on you because it's not like there's anything I would be trying to get out of.
Yeah, well, so what if they saying like, well, Bricc came with you, you told
You're
Bricc that
facing-
you
I
got
didn't see
into an
shit.
argument.
I was drunk. I was high. I was looking the other way.
I love you.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say
He's gonna
because
try
'cause
not
what
to
are they
rat.
gonna
He's-
say to
he's
me?
ratting on Durk. He's not gonna rat on me. I
the
knew I
Durk
was
thing,
different.
That's a
I
different-
actually did something wrong,
Yeah.
even if I might not have realized how wrong what I
No,
was
you
doing
did something
was.
wrong there too. I just like you
Yeah,
had
yeah.
an altercation and he came back over there, but you're not seeing it that way. I got a homeboy sitting in jail for life for that shit.
Really?
No, but it is a
Yeah.
slightly different scenario because in this instance, like you were protecting his lady too. You know what I'm saying?
But like he ran away and I shot him. Like what I'm saying, his back was turned when I hit him. Like
Right.
he didn't get the stab off. It wasn't a self-defense murder.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it looked like self-defense. It looked like Adam didn't do nothing, but now they get back up on him and like this all started because of you. So you either aided and abetted or you're like,
right.
In a
know-
situation like that, it's so easy to keep your mouth shut about it. If you didn't have anything to do with it and you don't have anything to run from, nothing
Yeah.
to hide, etc.,
Yeah.
it feels like it would be so easy. Because if I saw a random guy shoot somebody at a party and the cops start asking everybody what happened, I don't fucking know. I don't want to be
for
involved in that
sure.
shit.
Yeah, you snitch on that. You just got it in your blood.
Yeah, you just want want
wanted
somebody to talk. You King Yella. You just want a friend, a shoulder to cry on.
Like, bro, go
He needs
do
a
your
psychiatrist.
job, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so, Bricc, like this is the reason why we've all been getting a lot of calls and everybody's tripping. Like, and maybe like, and I know you've talked about all this stuff, but
I'm from they butt,
so, okay. So speaking of neighborhood,
and I play with loose cannon butt.
so
That's my butt from now on.
Oh,
Nigga. Loose
shit.
cannon, you my little piece of sweet meat, nigga.
Oh,
It's my
what?
butt, nigga. Book.
Pass me that butt.
some bussy.
Little something. I just told him I finger him from time to time. He pull up, I put my fingers in his butt. Boom, boom.
I saw somebody calling it boy dussy this morning.
Boy, does he?
Better than budussy or bussy.
or bussy.
You
Yeah.
gotta keep like just elaborating on it.
Well, badussy to me always like referred to an aroma. Like it smelled like badussy in this motherfucker. So boy
Oh, that
dussy
nigga pussy,
would be
yeah.
like the aroma of post coital guy on guy.
That's really what I'm against. I'm not really like so much against banging the dude in the ass. I just don't want to smell it.
Dude.
Well, yeah, that would be boy
Come
dussy.
on, Adam.
That would be boy
Serious.
dussy. So
I'm gonna put that on a song.
I think one of the reasons why people be like tripping hella much and asking hella questions is why, in your opinion, did Quando drop his flag after that happened? Like, why was that the culmination? Because I feel like
That's
a lot
good
of
question,
a lot of people make it seem like this is what makes people think, oh, for sure they checking in with 6-0s and beyond the fact that he's remote. Why afterwards? Because I'll tell you this, from my perspective, and this is just being honest, I know the weed rumor was spread.
Maybe he asked the motherfuckers to help him step, and motherfuckers said, man, motherfucker, these shoes don't work, nigga. You ain't been over here kicking it with us, nigga. What the fuck is we stepping for, nigga? You fly some niggas out here and step, nigga. Maybe he did that. Maybe he thought that we was supposed to automatically step because we was from 60s. Like, nigga, ain't nobody ever went on no skit with you or shared a spread or had to count on you and piece up 250 on the Nick sack, nigga.
Mm. So what, like, because a lot of people would be like, damn, was he like supposed to pay these guys off and he didn't? So now they're tripping on him. That was always what I thought.
don't know what he
Before
dropped
I
his
even heard
flag. I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know what he dropped his flag for. I even DM'd him like, "Hey, you doing the wrong thing." Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what you going through, but don't do that. But you know what I'm saying? He hit into a story because he was telling little jingles when we did the interview, but he hit into a story about if you see something coming and you change your style up before it hits, maybe him premeditating the feds was coming. And he put out a message to the public to clear himself of a situation. That the way he presented the story is that's what I took from it.
Like a preemptive tell.
No, like, all right, the feds about to put me in a RICO. I'm dropping my flag publicly to clean my shit up. But that's what I took from the story that he gave to compare.
But
to
that would
his
be a
situation
dumbass
in the
thought
flag.
because just because you say like I'm not, that's like I'm a Hell's Angel and I fucking like killed 3 people.
But there's a lot of us
the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I know, but that's.
But there's a lot of us who, a lot of people clearly kind of feel that way about Durk in the sense of like, okay, yeah, maybe he ordered this murder, but he's been Muslim for like 6 months, so you know, like maybe we could just chill. Oh, probably longer, but you know, like not. Yeah. It's a relatively new development.
Look, and that's like when they just had the
Muslim. He just been on his day for the last year or two,
playing into it.
Yeah. The dude that was the mayor of one of the municipalities that had given Durk the keys of the city. There's like 2 different parts of Chicago or like the greater Illinois area or whatever that given it. One of them denounced him off rip and was like, "Yo, you like them keys are chalked."
That's a political move.
But it's another one that still got his 150. Return the money too. You gonna keep the money he donated and then take the keys?
That's like the black dude, right? He like a mayor, and he said like, "How am I gonna go against like?" First of all, he hasn't been convicted yet,
right?
So I ain't going to like. And second of all, this is like a
RNS,
and he's been right, and he's
real
been,
nigga
right.
shit.
And what happens to that money if he gives it back? It goes to a lawyer. It goes to someone trying to beat a murder.
What he's saying is,
I'm gonna keep that.
I'm black, and I ain't giving it back, and I got Durk's back.
Yeah,
I mean, he gave us 200,000. There's no way he committed a murder for hire.
Well,
he had enough money just to give the city 200,000. He have enough money to.
He basically was saying innocent until proven guilty in a broken system.
If he was gonna pay for murder for hire, he would have donated back to the community, and that's the person, the political officials' standpoint.
Well, because exactly, because that's exactly what he's doing, and that's kind of what you were alluding to with he's been Muslim for the past. No, yeah, he's been doing that for a minute, to be honest with you, and he's been like on a spiritual journey and trying to self-discovery and all that, and he's giving. That's why he literally, the week he gets wrapped up, what did he do? A huge concert for the city of Chicago, and he's literally.
How was that for the city of Chicago when you sell tickets
off of it?
You charge for tickets.
Well, I mean, like even him having that montage, you know what I mean? Like
put something up on the fucking the leaderboard for a few minutes, like whatever.
I mean, but that's a bold move considering the circumstances. Like it's like the whole podcast he did with Gillian Wallow.
But when you actually watch that, I watched the whole vlog the DJU put out and stuff, and it's like, you know, yeah, it's cool that they put those faces up there and shit, but it's not like Durk said anything about it. It's not like he fucking acknowledged it or drew some extra attention to it or whatever.
It could have been this.
And like, let's be real.
How many helmets we got? Up on the scoreboard.
If you're the most menacing fucking gangster killer of all time, it's kind of like the most gangster thing you could do to say RIP to a bunch of people who you do not give a fuck about their death, or you maybe weren't even in some way involved in. Like, I don't really like take him doing that and putting those names up as any kind of like real serious statement about his intentions changing. You know, it's like, it's just too little. Like, really what J Main's been doing, that to me is impressive. Now, granted, J Main like obviously is like a smaller name than Durk and everything, but J Main going to O-Block, that's a big deal. That's like something that
with the Muslims.
Yeah, that's something that even like 6 months ago or a year ago when we were talking about it, like we didn't even consider that a possibility.
Listen,
there's a clip of Young telling J Main like, "Oh, if you so about pushing peace, why don't you go to O-Block?" And then it actually happened. That's a pretty big deal.
When the Muslims get involved, it's just something, I don't know if it's their frequency that they programming on, but it's like the first time that we had a peace talk with the Overs, like I said, when I was younger. It was Farrakhan or one of them had through the meeting whatever it was, like when the Muslims get involved in the black community, they go through the gang leaders that's Muslim, and that should be together. Like people go in there and they know can't no bullshit happen. Because one thing about Muslims, they believe in disciplinary action. So it's like, all right, go ahead, fuck up the peace if you want. Everybody just be ready for it to go left.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and you get it. You can feel it when you come. That's the tension in the air. Like everybody get on a black man. If y'all can't get along, find somebody somewhere else to do it.
For sure.
Something that I was curious about, you know, me like being like on some hip hop shit and analyzing your music. The Not Enough song, I believe it's called. You feel me? Like in that record, you allude to dropping low. You feel me? You also like
when
I don't know the particular bar, but like,
how the fuck are you gonna bring up charges on me and you don't got no fucking
no, listen, hold on.
You don't got no type of shit to back it
I like
up.
this. This is interesting. I like this dynamic.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Look. So you said this same thing on multiple podcasts. Even recently, you were like, look, I'm not a motherfucking rat. You feel me? And I'll be honest with you, bro. I know that you're not Coco number 4. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Coco number 4 ain't a rat, nigga. That ain't said I ain't a rat.
He's just a regular old criminal.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason why people would think that any
Where
unnamed
are you getting his nickname from? He's leaky. He's
what do you mean, fool? Like,
Coco
think you might have a role?
Oh yeah, it's me.
Coco
guys,
number 4 really has a ring to it.
That's a leaky, but that's your leaky.
Hey, can someone bring Hurley's bong back and tell him I'm sorry? Like he's super mad at me. I'm like getting texts.
Wait, he's mad? Oh wait, he's texting you to get the bong back?
No, he was like, I can't believe you. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
Wow.
all right, look.
You do be kicking that thing.
No. Look, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of things. This is all things you've already discussed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so why? No. The reason why people would assume that Coco number 4 is an informant is because any unnamed co-conspirator is not picked up yet. And if you're not picked up yet, you're most likely a confidential informant. One would assume.
Or they haven't gathered enough evidence for the grand jury to indict or give them. They arrested them off of complaints. We all know that these were complaints.
Describe complaints.
Complaints is the original police statement that they came across. Like there's no higher up. They didn't go to the grand jury. They didn't go to the Supreme Court and get these dudes bounded over into superior court off the rip. They put the complaints. The complaints were strong enough. The 4 dudes that had enough evidence to indict, those dudes got arrested. Durk was a coke backup, but he was listed in the complaint. And when he started trying to flee, they had enough evidence to detain him for a certain amount of time while they go grab the rest of the evidence in order to indict him. You get what I'm saying? So, like, say the grand jury doesn't indict Durk for in the next 8 months. It's very possible that he might get a bail. And you get what I'm saying? Because he's still not indicted. He's not fighting that case. He's not on the shit.
Because there's 5 or 6, I think 6 named defendants already, right? Like, and there's a lot that haven't been.
Yeah, but by them jumping the gun is very good. Like, for Durk. Like, y'all just came and got me off the complaint. Y'all didn't get an indictment or nothing. Y'all see me going out the country, which I do routinely. I'm a rich nigga, so y'all can't just say I was about to flee.
Well, he was already out of the country. He was like right before, like literally the week before that.
He probably didn't know.
He was out there. I mean, obviously he didn't, right? But within a week or a week and a half before the indictment, he's in the UK.
Somebody's parole officer or probation officer probably alerted them, like, "Hey, they owe y'all ass."
Well, I think
the fuck on, because I mean, when you got money, you go in them offices, they get to talking a little bit nicer. When I took my fucking record deal in there to my probation officer, he became my best friend. Like my parole officer, he like, "Oh yeah. Hey, Mr. Mitchell, I need to pull up. Like, is it cool if I pull up today? Like, I know you a busy man. Man, I'm in Texas right now. You got to come in 2-3 days. I'm in Atlanta trapping." But once I showed him that I really was working and really getting money, like he was more like for me than against me. Like I wouldn't put it past him like, hey, Mr. Mitchell, the feds just called me with some bullshit. You need to go ahead and get the fuck on.
Well, and that's what you would assume is going on. You feel me? Like, yeah, like, and that again, like that's a very solid defense for why Durk would buy those flights, because that's often a thing that people, when they find out that people they're associated with are getting wrapped up in an indictment, shit, let me see, am I potentially going to get be brought into? Let me try to buy some flights and see if they're flagged, because they got to call me or at least my motherfucking lawyer off rip if so. You know what I mean? And if you're at all savvy with the way,
getting nowhere with these charges. Like, what you doing?
I'm not questioning you. I'm just trying. Look, I'm asking what the people want to know, bro. And it, like really, I'd be a whack homie if I didn't do this. You feel me?
But what I'm
and
saying
a whack
is,
podcaster.
But you, well,
I'm just trying to. I'm just asking you the questions.
Number 4.
No, beyond the Coco number 4. You feel me? Beyond all that, I think a lot of people are tripping because of things that you've alluded to. And like, there's two things beyond Mama Duck and beyond your association with Durk, and people know that you and Durk are close. You know what I mean? Y'all been tapped in. So people are going to make that association. And beyond what Mama Duck said and what she compared it to, which we could talk about as well.
Well, the thing about it is that, okay, they're alleging that a Rolling 60s member from LA who was cool with OTF was the one who camped out outside the hotel.
It didn't say Rolling 60s.
It didn't? In that part, I thought it did.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't specify. I think people are...
Oh, so they're just kind of throwing that in there?
Yeah.
Because it's like, to the people, they're just thinking, oh, well, we know Bricc Baby, and he lives in LA, and he's cool with them, and so it makes sense that it would be him.
Smoking dick.
Keep in mind that there might be, you know, like a couple dozen other people that would fit a similar background that would be
almost 100 BDs live out
here. That would probably, that would have more time on their hands. That would be probably more likely to do a sort of low-level mission like that.
Chief Keef ain't co-conspirator number 4.
Well, at least in part because he probably couldn't sit in his car for 10 hours across from the Beverly Center for...
But I mean, I wasn't trying to say Chief Keef. I was just trying to give you, like, the Glow Gang is from LA.
Yeah, leave Mr. Cozart out of this conversation, please.
Let's going to tell you how he signed them if you keep that up.
Yeah. I signed Chief Keef. Bush, I signed Chief.
Jesus Christ. But nah, like, it's cool. Like, I get the work. Y'all got that interview that went semi-viral when I first said it.
So what was going through your head when you first said that to Flacco? Were you what was your reason that you went so out of your way in that moment to be like, well, you know, they say you can't say Sly for Vaughn anymore.
Well, he said Sly for Vaughn. And he like, you know, like Sly for Vaughn.
But can I also point out that when you say that, I love you, Flacco. You really get to see like the worst of Flacco in that clip because he's like, what? You talk about what? He's like going through his mental Rolodex trying to figure out what you're talking about. Yeah. Now, granted, it feels very obvious in retrospect. In the moment, sure, might have been more confusing.
Really know. But the thing is, a lot of people didn't know.
Okay, I know on a personal level, when Lil Pab got killed, the first thing that I said in the group chat or to Remo or whoever the fuck I was talking to was like, whoa. I wonder if it's related to the Vaughn thing or to, you know, Vaughn getting killed by...
First, so let me tell you where I even got the narrative from. I wasn't talking to Durk already for like 8 months. We just ain't been talking to each other.
Which I can verify because you showed me your Instagram DMs the other day and I saw how there was this big gap in communication.
All right, boom. So now, when it happened, I was in the black truck coming back from Dallas to Houston and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, they finna say I killed this nigga. I thought about it. I'm like, I'm glad I'm out of town because they about to say I killed this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now I'm going through my comments. They like, Bricc, you did that. Yeah, they can't say Slide for Fine no more. Yeah, Bricc, yeah, Bricc, like, playing. So I'm like, immediately I went to make Not Enough. So I let you know that ain't my work right there. And I wasn't referring to OTF Boogie in my song.
So I didn't bring up the wrong song.
What do you mean? No, you said that. You said something about dropping low.
Okay, you didn't talk about dropping low.
No, never, not one time. But I said the way Boogie do his thing, he need $1 million plus. I'm talking about Baby RS, cause Boogie down, cause free my nigga. He been in jail for a minute, cause like it's so much of a coincidence, all this shit. I've never met Boogie, don't know who he is or nothing. I'm rapping the way Boogie do his thing, he need $1 million plus.
Right.
It ends up being a nigga named Boogie.
Okay.
I play it because I just knew that everybody was out of town. So I'm like, cuz ain't no way Durk has something to do with that. Then I got like the insight of the Armenian, the fake story, alleged fake story that.
But
Who
yeah,
you
see,
think
see,
made
that-
up? Who made up that story, or is that an overlapping? Do you think there's truth to the story about the Armenian weed dealers?
But here,
I kind of want to like skim through that part because then you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
like say I got another story and then I'll be in the same situation. You get
But
what I'm
it felt
saying?
like
But
Quando thought that story was true too.
I feel like the stories coincide for some reason.
it's very plausible. It's in Beverly Hills. You know, that's literally right between where the Persians and Armenians be at, allegedly, some type of thing like that.
I feel
You me? Like
I feel like they coincide because Rondo is telling us a story. Unless him and Durk talk to each other like we just gonna give him the throw off, so I don't snitch on you in person, but it's still up. But nigga, this the story we going with. Like that's the only way, like that they can't coincide with each other because Rondo literally ran down the same story that I heard.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? The thing is, I'm thinking that everybody's clear of the situation, so you could kind of play on that and, you know what I mean, go viral, whatever you gonna do, because they already think you did it. Like, you know me, I like to push buttons. So when he was like, you can't say it's live, I'm like, nigga, you can't say that no more. And then I'm just like, I literally say, they say you can't say slide for vibe no more.
Right.
Meaning my fans.
I've heard people
In the
say that. Yeah.
comments, yeah.
And then when you see the clip of Durk a few months later, he says almost the exact same thing to Ack.
Instead of the Lil Pop part.
Right.
Only thing that didn't come out his mouth was Lil Pop.
Yeah.
well, that's the most notable thing about this whole thing. And let's keep it a sec. The self-incrimination just in the music and in social media is at an all-time high. For an artist of this high profile,
I thought he was doing the same thing because it ain't no way I'm putting a nigga screaming on a skit that I produced, nigga, on my song. It's just, I'm not that tough.
yeah,
man. I ain't that tough.
That whole no thing is maniacal.
But
bro.
him and
like,
Thug were both operating under the same assumption, which is that we're just never going to get caught because everybody around me is so solid that they would never tell. And there's, I could order all the murders I want, assuming that this happened the way that they're
Them niggas was bollet.
putting it out there.
No,
Bollock?
Bollet.
like
Anabolic?
Bollet.
Yeah.
That's the fake solid.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
I think though also like, so why is like Whack trying to push this whole narrative about that specific?
Do you think he's being genuine?
Who?
Whack. You think he really believes this shit about you? Or do you think that
That nigga Whack got content. It's time to make content, man. You don't know what the fuck he talking about. That's why I said in that conversation, I don't know if you heard our whole
I listened to like the
conversation,
first 40 minutes today.
but I said, what you doing is just saying a gang of shit, and I'm going along with it for content right now. You sound crazy to the motherfucker.
Right.
Like, I'm only entertaining this shit right now because we're in front of 35,000 people, and I had to make that clear. Like, bro, I wouldn't answer these questions 100 times back to back ever in my life because you're not getting nowhere.
Right.
Like, it's like you got good questions, but then when I come with the response for the question, no, but those are illegal in California. Like, bro, on 6-0, as much as you done prayed and wished for me to go to jail, man, it would have happened already if it was going to happen. Boy, you be praying. Like, I've never seen a gangbanger wish jail on a nigga so bad. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, okay, I got the good end of a stick out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, the weapons wasn't mine. They was in, like, all type of shit, right? You get what I'm saying? That I don't have to say in front of motherfuckers. Like, when has it been cool to come adjudicate your own case in court if the judge don't even want to deal with the motherfucker? What the fuck am I bringing it to the internet for? You get what I'm saying? But I just was putting an end to it because now it's like, oh, this dude went to jail and these people came. Like, hold on, I ain't said nothing, nigga. This how LA go, period. It ain't one gangbanger in LA that's gonna tell you that they ain't never either had a fucking DA reject for one of them type of cases or one of their homeboys. Like, they've witnessed that a million times.
But why would the DA reject the charge
It's
of
not they rejecting. They just, it's not enough evidence for them. They got to look at the case and say, can I beat this in trial? Or do I take these other 100,000 cases and try to win these?
Yeah, no. So there's
You know
literally
what I mean? Like, this one don't really got legs on it. Like, I'll just be trying to force somebody into a deal. If he go to trial, I'm a whoop them in trial.
There's
You
so
get what
much
I'm saying?
overcrowding in LA County that they've had to make so many auxiliary different jails. That's the only reason why Wayside exists is because there wasn't enough room
Exactly.
in the towers and MCJ. They had to build
And
a
my
whole.
case is nonviolent.
So really, what happens is they have to prioritize what cases are going to actually pursue that are worth the money and like worth the actual resources
It ain't even
that they have.
prioritized. I'm gonna keep it real.
To a degree, it is,
whenever
though.
come across the DA desk, if they feel like they can whoop it, it ain't even a priority. It's like, all right, I got him. He a smoker. We gonna keep this crack case because he don't got the money to beat this. We gonna make him do a year. Him, that. All right, let's get this out because that might be a problem. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
They already like
that is prioritizing.
It's prioritizing, but it's not. Oh, I'm taking the more serious.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
It's like
whatever
they could get off.
It's a math
shit.
equation that basically is like whatever resources they have and the severity of the overall importance is an equation of they want a W. Long story short, they want is the path of least resistance. So what that means is they're going to throw out a lot of any case where somebody has a gang member with a strap. You could be a felon with a strap, whatever. Even if I'm not encouraging people to go commit crimes, by the way, and saying this is just the reality out here. They're probably not gonna.
They not gonna for sure throw it out, gang.
They're not gonna for sure throw it out, but you could very likely get a DA reject. Like
it's stipulations to every case, bro.
Correct. So you might have to at least take a probation or some bullshit, which could
What's your emotion right here?
No,
you're saying he knows?
He's telling you what I'm trying to tell you. He's not.
So it's like common knowledge.
Yeah, that's not crazy that he would get a DA reject in that situation. To be honest,
I could make it a whole lot clearer for you guys because you kind of ran us in circles. The DA. I'm just saying you would go ahead.
No, you're talking. No.
I think he feels like you're over whooping in this conversation when he's it's his situation.
About a DA reject, and then you telling them about the DA reject, but in some cases, in some parts that you got wrong that I'm trying to correct you.
No,
and you
go ahead, please.
But you're going back.
I'm allowing you to correct me.
It's not even that deep. The DA, like we said, prioritizes. He's not rejecting the case. Ultimately, it doesn't hit the judge's desk. You never make trial calendar or whatever the case is, and a year later, because they can refile whenever they want to. Say that they dig back into the case and okay, now I'm gonna open it.
They can refile as long as they haven't started proceedings, because and a DA reject would imply that proceedings haven't started, because once proceedings have started, if they stop it, then it's double jeopardy, so they can't. But
no, they can refile after proceedings.
As long as they say
you won't let me get it out.
There's no statute of limitations. They can say the investigation started 10 years ago. The statute of limitations end when that investigation ends.
Okay, so per Donnie, statute of limitation ends when the investigation ends. Okay, makes sense.
What is
I
it?
wasn't able to get out one full sentence, Les. That's what I kept on doing.
Fool.
I'm not. Did he not just do it again, Adam?
You do overwhoop a little bit.
I'm trying to tell him something, and you and the DA does this. You're finishing the
I've been kind of meaning to have this conversation with you off camera, but you're a little trigger happy in conversation in general, in the sense that you're just so ready to jump in between everybody's sentences that it's like, I don't want to tell you that you're doing a bad job, because I think it's important. It's just if it was 15% turned down, I feel like it would be better in terms of the immediate leaping into any tiny little gap in the conversation.
To finish telling you about the DA, and you're finishing my sentence with some shit I wasn't about to say.
All right, my bad, guys. I suck.
I don't want you to take it as a full attack. It's just a little bit of constructive criticism.
Totally.
You do great, bro. What you saying? You saying shit, but you not saying what I'm saying. But you think that's what I'm about to say. So
and especially in a situation like this, where he's the guy who's quite literally on trial, and it's his situation he's been through, where he's clearly kind of obviously you're very familiar with how these things work too. It's quite impressive.
To the county at all. He's never had a reject.
But
so how the fuck is he used to this shit?
It's still it's impressive that he knows so much about it. But it's I feel like you kind of gotta let Bricc speak for himself.
You know what? You're right. My bad, guys. And here's the thing: is because I feel like I felt bad maybe because I was asking these questions, because I don't.
You shouldn't give a fuck about feeling bad, nigga. If I was a snitch, feel bad, nigga. On the hood, ask the questions that you want to know. What you and the fans want to know, I don't mind answering. But like, don't ask the motherfucker. So maybe I was answer it.
Maybe I was trying to defend you too much.
Nah, I don't care. I just was trying to tell the world what a DA reject is, because if I don't get it out, then it's like, oh, he never really told us what it was, because him and Lesh kept on throwing it off.
I thought I was right. My bad. I thought I was right.
But in this situation, I got to defend myself.
All right, go ahead.
Because then it's like, oh yeah, see how they already teamed up on this shit.
Yeah,
he's a snitch. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers build narratives out of nowhere, so it doesn't really matter. A DA reject just means that the case, the DA is not strong enough for the DA to file on. If they wanted to file within certain cases, it's a year and a year and a month, or 3 years and a month, they can. If they don't package the case up, it doesn't exist.
So how has it been dealing with this, though? Are you just having fun with it? Because it's like, I don't think people understand that, like, trolling has real value to you as a content creator when you're not worried about the actual accusations that are being thrown on you. So a lot of stuff is kind of like you having fun with it. Even when I'm on the phone with Ak, I'm kind of like saying shit like, yeah, for sure, Bricc did this, Bricc did that, whatever. Because I know it doesn't fucking matter, obviously. Like, whatever I say in terms of like, yeah, Brick's guilty or some shit, me saying that you're guilty is never going to in any way make you more or less guilty or aid in prosecuting
I heard that
you.
shit on the stream. I'm like, yeah, for sure, Bricc. It sounds like Bricc would have did. I'm like, that nigga Adam is crazy.
I mean, because it's like, what could I possibly do to make the situation worse? I'm just fucking around.
And then it's like, look, bro, y'all want me to be in it so bad, I'm in it. Now what y'all want to say? Shut the fuck up.
Also, we all know that if you're like a low dropper for Lil Durk, that's cool as fuck. From the fan perspective.
Why am I bad? Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't do shit. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Nigga, this my boy. He lost his boy. The niggas who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he asked me, I probably would have been if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, nigga, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said, if he make the call right now, I dig his ass up and do it.
That was a crazy one. For sure. No, I heard you say multiple things on the song where I was like, if I had any doubt before, I'm like, oh, okay. He's totally, like, he definitely didn't have anything to do with this, because why the fuck would he just say that in front of my face, in front of Ross? But then even, all right, there's other crazy shit, because you said some shit that I absolutely can't say right here to Ross, that he privately was like, when Bricc said this, what did he mean? And I was like, oh, he's fucking with you, bro. Like, he's not, like, you really think that he would tell you if that was real?
No, but then
I'm also thinking in my head, like, well, he is kind of a JK. I don't know. He might, I don't know.
And I think that's like kind of like the main thing that I was alluding to is a lot of these things that people are tripping on you for is because you be playing with them. You know what I mean?
Fuck with it. I manipulate the fuck out the audience, but I don't care. I don't even care to talk about that part. Like, we could go a million episodes with y'all thinking whatever the fuck y'all. That's why you're the consumer and we're the entertainer. Period.
Yeah.
You keep on consuming, just like you watch Scary Movie 1 through 10, nigga, on the hood. Stay tuned in. You don't know what's next.
And I think also, like, a lot of one of the main things that people were tripping on was all the Z Money shit. Like,
yeah, why is Z Money so mad?
Z Money won't clout.
Over an old ass clip from months ago.
My name got clout to it. Of course he wants to be. And I didn't even say that I was on him or I beefed with him in the clip or nothing. I said nothing of that.
You said OTF had issues with him at, what, South by Southwest or some shit?
Got up on him.
I didn't say they got up on him.
You said, like,
I said that the temperature in the air was like, nigga, they was finna get up on him. Yeah. Because I remember I said turn a sprinter to a striker. But you got to think, I'm right here, so I got to make shit sound a little bit more entertaining. But at the end of the day, they was on you. You was outside with a dog, nigga, on the hood. And that's the only reason I know you and know about that case that you got the settlement for is because of that car ride. You get what I'm trying to say? I didn't find that out on the Vine interview. I've been knowing that since 2015. if it's true, if it's not, I don't know. You know what I mean? They say his family been having money too, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit was years ago type shit. And I ain't saying that they was on no drill or nothing. I just know the temperature was like, boy, we do something to you.
Yeah, that was a wild one because you weren't really saying anything aggressive from my perspective to Z Money, and then all of a sudden the clip that comes out of him is him saying like, "Bricc, I'm gonna beat the dog shit out of you when I see you."
And like, yeah, didn't he like say like, "Oh, I came to No Jumper one time and you wasn't even there"? Or, like,
I think he just did an interview.
Yeah, well, it was like a couple months ago, but I love when people say that as if Brick's supposed to just be here every day, just doing nothing.
And then like, I wasn't beefing with you, so what the fuck do that mean? That's why I'm like, dude, I'm not beefing with your bitch ass, so why the fuck would I be up here, or why would I even give a fuck that you here?
I think they think we know everything that
somebody named Z Money died from the Bloodhounds, right?
Yeah.
The only reason I brought that up because I thought it was that Z Money. That's how that even got presented. You said something about a Z Money, and I'm like, is it the Z Money that Durk and them used to be for? I don't know if this public record. I thought that, you know, they dissed their ops in so many songs. I'm thinking that they beefs is public record. Shit.
Right.
Z Money and them, y'all beef. Y'all make drill songs and shit. I know you probably said fuck them in a song the way that y'all was saying fuck them that day. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just remember that one Dope Boy Magic. That's the only song I remember from Z Money.
Oh, Z Money had a bunch of fire.
Yeah, I can't recite a song, and I'm not trying to be. Only reason I know him is because of that. And that's why I was bringing it up. Like, damn, is that the Z Money that was down there? Did he get killed? I just was asking.
He had a whole little run. He had a couple different runs, actually, to be honest, because he had like a wave, I think in 2012, and then like another one in 2017. And that was when he got signed to Gucci and shit, which didn't really last that long. But he was doing shit with a Valet that was blowing up.
Yeah,
and he had, like,
was hard.
I used to listen to like
2 of them with Valet.
For real?
Yeah.
I used to listen to like all Z Money for a few months there. That was like my biggest artist for a minute. Yeah.
That song Shell by Valet and like all that.
That one,
Shell was that shit.
That was a banger.
But yeah, I didn't even. Yep, right when he dropped Shell, I was fucking with him. You know, Bands was his manager.
DJ Bands.
When he first came in the
game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
DJ Bands is very close with
DJ
Durk.
Band got that ear.
That's why I was crazy because I hadn't really like heard about Z Money in a few years, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting down to interview Von off 1700, and he's just like, yeah, like I forget how it came up, but he basically was like, yeah, our op is from Z Money. Z Money's hood is our ops, and I'm like, oh, and then in the middle of the interview, just kind of tease off on him. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know that was coming. All right,
yeah, pansexual is crazy. The pansexual sentiment is crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude?
People who don't know what pansexual means love to say pansexual.
What? I had to look it up.
Doesn't that mean like just regular?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Your pan means all genres.
Pansexuality is a sexual orientation that describes a person who is romantically, emotionally, or sexually attracted to people of all genders, regardless of their sex or gender identity. Pansexual people may describe themselves as gender blind, meaning that gender and sex are not determining factors in their attraction to others. Which doesn't that sound like bisexual?
It sounds like lush.
Like you could just fuck with whoever, right? Yeah. Some people use the terms bisexual and pansexual interchangeably, but there are some distinctions between the two. For some reason, I want to know this. Bisexuality generally refers to people who feel attracted to more than one gender. However, bisexual people may not feel attracted to certain genders. This is like acting as if there are just like infinite genders.
Like trans is a different gender, or like.
But I mean, even trans is just like you switch to another gender. Right? It's not like a completely separate gender. I don't know. This shit is retarded. But
as fuck.
Whatever. Although I love the AI overview. I love that I don't have to click on something to figure out the answer to this. That I can just fucking read this little synopsis. But
pansexual is hilarious.
This is a death sentence to all the publishers who are trying to get page views. It's crazy. Like, why would I ever scroll down and click on? And look how long it takes to even get. Well, I guess you have WebMD and medical news today.
Those are ads.
But this is
because they're paying to be right
but
there.
This is the best revenge against all the shitty ass websites that exist just to like basically print boring
definition
ass
type shit.
Yeah, because you know if you have like a couple of different symptoms and you're wondering what kind of sickness you have.
Oh my god!
You click on those websites. It's 5 billion fucking ads. Give me this. My tonsils are sore. Boom. Tell me what's wrong with me. The end.
AIDS, cancer, all type. The craziest shit pops up first. It's like I never go look shit up no more. I'm like, I'm not looking that shit up.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
The worst case scenario.
Yeah.
It just shows up.
Your toenails is browning. It means that your liver's dead. You got 2 days to live.
Cirrhosis.
Yo, I can't believe that we had our views stolen from us last week by the person who bought fake views. What an incredible troll! I don't think they did it. And somebody told me actually who did it or who's been doing a lot of the fake viewer buying recently.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know, but that's the weird thing about it for me. When they buy 25K live viewers for us, when I'm looking at the view count after the fact, I'm not really like seeing evidence of that. Like when I go to look at like the views in the 48-hour overview in the analytics, I don't see evidence of that. But then apparently it fucks the views up after the fact, which is very strange.
YouTube gotta get a more stringent auditing process for the views.
Do you see that 6ix9ine basically got caught with meth in his system? So he's been on probation or whatever or supervised release for 5 years. And after 4.5 years, during which, keep in mind, he's had all kinds of crazy shit happen to him, including being locked up in the Dominican Republic and stuff. They found they had weed in his system and meth from Adderall, allegedly. I don't know how they were able to actually like figure that out. But after, like, he's almost done with his supervised release. And
they're going to probably put him in a halfway house rehabilitation program till he come on.
That's crazy.
I seen people with real cases that didn't tell get lighter violations than, going back to jail. So
I think that he probably
pisses the feds off too.
Well, he don't want to. He clearly don't even want to be in America.
You see that? See they gave him an early release. Wait, he's traveling abroad on federal supervised release.
He spends the majority of his time overseas. He's like in
that's
Mexico.
where the bag is at for him. But I feel like he's coming back more. Well, because he was locked up for a few months in DR.
I think the witness protection plea keeps them to where just go the fuck out the country.
Nobody has
made easier to do that. Like we'll pay for the private.
Nobody's made more of a joke out of the whole witness protection thing than him. Like we used to take that shit so serious. It sounded like such an important thing to be a part of, and now it's like, oh, you could just get that and just do whatever.
Well, they used to trip on Henry Hill. Remember the dude from Goodfellas? And he would like call the dude that was like that Goodfellas is about. He's like a famous mafia snitch, and he used to like call into the Howard Stern show regularly, like while he was under witness protection. And Howard's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you calling in? And that was considered like a big deal that he would even break that wall of anonymity. Yeah. But then you got a guy like 6ix9ine with like face tats and is famous as fuck. You're not really.
He gets jumped in the gym and he doesn't even have a blick on him.
Yeah. It's a bar.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I wish I was a rapper back when that happened.
I was about to say something, but then I almost leaked another
tidbit?
You know me and Rad's favorite bar.
Which one?
The Only White Boy.
See? I'm so happy for the run that we're about to do. I guess me and you are on both of the songs of the 3 that we're about to drop.
Yeah.
You're on one, and actually Trap is on all of them. Yeah. And Flacco's on one of them.
Yeah. I think
solid lineup.
Yeah, I think that
Frilla.
Any song that we heard a beat to, I think we all put a verse.
Pretty much.
We've been in there though. Like to say that we haven't been handling business, like we putting out way more music than, but like everybody moves at the speed that I usually move, so it's kind of like it's cool. And then you guys write, so you guys move faster once you get in the booth. I don't do nothing. I don't even think about that shit till I get right there.
Really? Because I noticed that I'm way better. I've started to realize this. I'm way better if I sit there and brainstorm beforehand. And I also feel like, all right, I have a thing where if I sit down to write, I have to do it in the morning usually. I have to get on the computer or whatever, like 10 in the morning once I've like worked out, ate breakfast, got coffee, boom. Now I can write. And it's like when I go in the studio, but I can write for like an hour or two, and then my ability is significantly lowered by the fact that I just actually did it for a little while. When I go in there, my first verse is always so easy, and I'm like, I work hella fast, and it's like, it's just the smoothest process. And then second verse, never mind third verse, way more difficult. Like my primary creative juices come out on that first explosion on the
It'd
track.
be like that sometimes because it's your most unfiltered thoughts. That's what you've been saving up, and it just go. What I do, like how you say, like I don't. You're like I don't even think about the anything till I hit the booth. I'll just think of like the rhymes or a couple punchlines, and then like I can fill out the rest when I'm in. You feel me? Like so, I'll try to just think of a few little like, and I have a cachet of like little punchlines I could throw in wherever. You feel me?
I'm
store up.
definitely like 4 bars to the good walking in. Like I like to say I don't think like I know where I'm going when I go in the booth. I'm not gonna go in there and be like, I'm at least try what I had in my head.
Before you hear the beat, it's pointless to like write the entire bar. You
For
really
sure.
just need the rhyming part because the bar, it might be like a 8-syllable bar, or it might be like a 16-syllable bar. It might be like you can cram a ton of words in there, or it might be that you only have a tiny amount of time to get that shit in there. But my problem is like I want to rhyme the front of the bar as well as the back end of the bar, and I have a hard time doing that if I don't write it in advance while I'm like sitting there listening to the beat. Like if I'm actually just sitting there, it's hard for me to like put it all together in my head because I want the whole bar to sound like the whole next bar.
That's the Dipset in you. That's like the East Coast influence, which is not bad at all.
And I noticed that with myself too, is that I have this desire to be like a drill style rapper, but then when it actually comes down to it, I want to rap complicated syllables together. Like the part that's fun to me is being able to take a bunch of weird words and make them sound cool together. And it's like, but then part of me knows that all the cool rappers I listen to don't do that.
A lot of them do though. Like again, I'll cite the same examples like Baby Tron and them. You feel me? And people don't even realize like you don't. I fuck with Tron. I don't know.
I like Baby Tron, but I wouldn't say that he's like the person I listen to and be like, I want to rap exactly like that.
I think you know what's crazy about
Baby
Tron?
Hard.
You know
I'm just saying.
You know what's crazy about Tron though? Like if you go to the middle of the map, you go to the Midwest, like he's
cracking
fucking Jesus out there. Like he's really that dude for real. But nah, like the Free Durk song when I came to the studio, it really threw me off because I was like, damn, fools are super topical on this. You know what I mean? And I was like, because I kind of had an idea of what the session was going to be, but then that was like a curveball to what, like, to me. So I was like, damn, I got to come up with something right now. So I didn't have any like pre-existing punchlines I could use.
When the Free Durk song comes out, there's going to be a lot of like really entertained people, and there's also going to be a lot of really angry people.
There's one person I diss I feel really bad about. Like
everybody gonna be bad.
I can't even imagine who you're talking about, but probably I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
Yeah, I mean, people want me to fucking talk about Sharp on here, and I'm like, I don't understand why. I fucking gave him a couple minutes on the Whack Pod the other day. It's like, I know he did a stream last night, but to be real, you can kind of tell when the level of attention from the fans is dissipating because shit doesn't get clipped and posted in the Reddit. I know he was on stream last night. I didn't see any clips on the Reddit. That means for me, it's like, okay, I can clock out. I don't have to respond anymore. Because if they don't care, what the fuck do I care? Like, that's a pretty like low bar to reach. Is that like the Reddit doesn't care? The Reddit is so thirsty for anything to talk about that it's like if they're not clipping it, and I mean honestly, the same thing for Yuri. You know Yuri's doing some dumb shit on there every day. But they don't post it anymore, so it's like I don't even think of them at all anymore. It's only the Reddit has way too big of a control on my mind because if they clip something, and that's part of it too. I realize there'll be accounts on the Reddit that clearly only exist to clip parts from other podcasts to try to get attention on those podcasts, which is smart. Honestly, it's a really good idea. But sometimes those people get banned. Sometimes they just give up.
Or sometimes they have an agenda that becomes clear to moderators and then they be on the helmet.
You got to keep your eye out for the propaganda for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like with all the Durk shit going on, I feel like the world didn't have too much to talk about. So that was like super interesting. Like it wasn't too much drama going on while you guys were beefing. Like the Diddy shit was settled and you know what I mean? But all of that, then the Durk shit came. But now, like, no matter what fucking Reddit you go to, you could go through Cali Banger, you gonna see Durk face through that motherfucker. Like, if you ain't talking about Durk shit right now, nobody cares.
But that's the whole thing too, is that little era, but it's a shame to even call it an era. But like
Sharp gate. It doesn't get a gate.
But it aligned with Dejan versus Bricc and Dejan versus Flacco and all this bullshit. That is such like internal no jumper shit that it's like, yes, it can be fun. Yes, when there's nothing to talk about, it feels like, okay, let's talk about that, whatever. But then you see other people like dragging it on and on and on. And it's like, bro, that shit is not going to increase our audience in any way, shape, or form. That's like, you have to already know exactly what's going on in this universe to even give a fuck about who Deshaun Paul is. Never, even the Sharp thing. Like, I know Sharp considers himself to be like this big viral guy. Who posted about Sharp versus Adam 22? Only No Jumper and No Jumper fan accounts.
Academics.
But he didn't post anything on his Instagram about it. He just talked about it on stream for 10, 15 minutes. That's nothing.
And
that's
his audience hated it.
And his audience said, stop talking about this.
Yeah.
When I saw that poll and I realized that 80% of his audience said, we don't give a fuck about this, that to me, I felt like a level of shame. I was like, oh my God, like I'm doing my audience a huge disservice by acting like this is so interesting.
Yeah, legit, like actual audience. Can we talk about hip hop again? Like we're off this. Like they were super.
Or just they want him to talk about the most interesting thing at that moment in the space. Let's be real. Sharp crashing out initially was interesting. It was interesting for like a week, maybe a few days, and then it ceased to be interesting.
Speaking about hip hop, his song is now on all DSPs. It just got
Run it up.
Thank God.
Run it up. But you know what's funny? Last year, the breakup of No Jumper was such a big story.
Yeah.
Because there was so much less going on in the world of rap. This year, we have Kendrick versus Drake. We have the Diddy indictment. We have the YSL trial like continuing. We have Durk. We have
it started this year.
Fulio. You know what I'm saying?
If
like
Durk
all
got
these
indicted,
stories.
if Durk got indicted like 4 or 5 days after TRL and AD left, I would have super appreciated that. That would have been killer timing. Like, wow, thank you.
This proves you're not the
so
feds.
much. Yeah.
That's like definitive proof. If he was the feds, the indictment would have been pulled right then. Like, we're going in.
That is fucking hilarious how that happens. Because I had that happen when I first got allegations in 2018. Logan Paul filmed a guy killing himself like a week later. Boom.
Oh, in the Japanese forest.
And it didn't like totally end my bad week, but it was like very diminished because it was so much more interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Adam 22? Hell no. We're talking about Logan Paul filming a dead body.
That's crazy.
That was way more cracking. And even on some hip hop shit, I remember fucking, what was it? Fabulous, like punched this girl in the face, knocked her teeth out or something.
Yeah.
They really made that like vanish. But that was another thing that kind of took the heat off me right then and there, yeah.
That's that Illuminati shit.
But you want it would have been hard for that to like just go away though, because you did have all this like disappointment and anger from people who are like watching the podcast at that point, who are like, oh, we're not watching this podcast anymore. Like there has to be some kind of emotion to fill that void that is created by people no longer having the podcast that they want to tune into. But I mean, like, honestly, it's like that with everything, because the Joe Budden Rory Maul breakup was like the biggest podcast breakup of ever, as far as I know.
Was that the same year as the No Jumper?
No, that was
Exodus?
like no, that was like a year before, maybe
Okay,
maybe
before
2
that,
years before, a year and a half. But either way, like Rory, I know from watching Danny from the Stop that Rory and Maul and Joe Budden still throw shade at each other all the time, little barbs here and there. It never gets covered by the mainstream world or whatever. Like outside of a physical fight or like a diss song or like some really extreme expression of hatred towards each other, that shit is just not gonna like work its way to the surface. You know,
that's the difference between the West Coast and the East Coast, because when those podcasts get into it, they're not gonna do that. But out here, we make diss tracks about each other, and I feel like we have more fun with it.
But nobody
like,
gives
like
a
that.
fuck. Yeah, but none of those dudes rap. Besides Rory, I guess. I heard Rory rapped. I never saw it, but I don't know. You know who Rory is?
Yeah. The Rory
really?
Moro.
Moro.
Moro. I always have a problem.
I just looked at your
Rory
face and I was
Moro.
like, oh shit, he doesn't know who Rory is.
No, those are the Joe Budden guys that he was beefing with.
Yeah.
When I came home, I knew Joe Budden had a podcast, but I wasn't like tapped in. But I know that drama, it leaked over to Instagram. So
the best thing. The best conversation I might have ever had with a No Jumper employee is shout out to Big Ski, aka Kiki. We were driving in the car one time, and I'm talking about some podcast shit. I forget what it was, but I'm explaining. I'm like, and so this person went on Joe Rogan, and obviously Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast in the world. He starts laughing his ass off, and he goes, "So you mean to tell me the motherfucker from Fear Factor got the biggest podcast in the world?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "This shit crazy, man." Like the fact that he didn't know that was so sick. I was just taken aback by
Kiki
that.
was really the glue, wasn't he? It's not the same without
Yo, I
Kiki.
was thinking the other day that we should bring Kiki back to just do a song.
Big Ski was the glue.
Me and Big Ski doing a song. Like that's part of my ambition for the music shit. And guess who left me on red? Namir. I told Namir. Let me tell you how I let me tell you how I even worded it, because I didn't want to like offend him. So I tried to say it in a way that wouldn't like seem to him as if it was like really bad.
This already sounds terrible.
I said, "Yo," he hits me up. What's good, brother? I said, "We should do a song where it's like us going back and forth with me saying the shit that people hate on you for, and then you responding." And like I sent him the friendly. I think that was what would Vaughn do. I sent it to him, and I was like, "We could make it really funny." Left me on red. And then today I was thinking about sending a message to Famous Dex saying the same thing. Like, let's do a song that's kind of like we're going back and forth, and I'm saying shit that people say about you in the media, and it'll let you because it would have been so fun to rap with fucking Namir, because then I could say all the they always get on his ass about talking like he's from LA.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I could fucking kill it using that theme.
But
You
he's
went from G
basically,
to Crib.
but you're basically like, hey, participate in my diss song to you.
That's essentially no.
That's a negative perception of it, but I think it would ultimately be really good for him, because if he does it, it's like showing that he doesn't really give a fuck about what people say. And we could just make a dope song. It'll get people listening. It might open their mind a little bit to like listen to his regular music. I don't know. I thought it made a lot of sense, but he didn't even respond to me.
I don't think it's a bad idea at all, but I think your approach of saying all that in the text probably threw him off. And he might not even. The thing is, he might not even think it's a bad idea, but he's still processing it and thinking about it. I would be like, "Hey, fool."
That's the first interview song.
I would have texted, bro, like, "Hey, let's do a song. Like, hit me up real quick." And then he calls you, and then when you're on the phone, be like, "Look, I got this idea."
Fuck,
Yeah.
wait till he gets to the studio.
Or that too. That might feel like a bit of an ambush. Like, it's funny, but like,
I mean, because if he says no, at least you do another song right there.
yeah. Or you could even just like when you're talking, because it'll feel more sincere. If you're like chopping, because that could just be like you making fun of him, especially it's not a guy you talk to regularly.
Nah, yeah. I want him to know that my intention is not to like talk shit. It's just to like more put it out there in a funny way. Like if I do 4 bars where I'm giving you a hard time about talking like you're from LA and you're really from Alabama, if you don't have a funny response to that in your head that you could rap, I don't even know what to say.
He could easily.
You have to be able to like shoot back on the track like that. That's like this guy. That's setting the barrier so low.
And it doesn't even have to be funny. You could just be like, "I got put up on the set. I'm repping 2 hands now." Like ask them fools on whatever black. Like he could easily have a response to that. You know what I mean? And make himself sound cool if he's a good rapper.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be funny.
It would be Adam to drop the first interview style song.
That's a good idea.
It's an hour and a half long song.
Yeah, so what happened that night when you got caught in the bushes?
Yeah.
No, I killed that man. I was just getting.
But if we're going back and forth like that, it's the easiest thing in the world. Like something pops in my head. Oh, all right. What's going on with you and Almighty J? I dropped 4 bars just making fun of him, giving him a hard time about like, I ain't seen Almighty J around. That's weird. Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Say it in a funny way. He comes right back. But also, you don't really know what people are like in the studio either, because some people probably like would need a lot of time to write something quality about that, you know?
I have a writer.
I don't know.
Some people that don't write their own shit, they'll never come to the studio with you.
Who wrote Soul Train?
He'd be like, yeah,
You know that's for Bruno Mars?
Like, send it.
Wait, what?
That was written for Bruno Mars.
By a writer.
Look at there's
So
mad.
so he didn't write that record?
Well, I don't know if he didn't write it.
Bruno?
No. Namir.
Oh.
He had a song called Soul Train. It's like the most disliked song.
YBN
in rap
Namir says
history.
Bruno Mars was supposed to be on Soul Train, and that's why his fucking version of the hook sounds so bad, is because he was just fucking around and thinking that Bruno Mars is going to go over it. It would be like if I wrote a song right now and was writing the hook for Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
it's going to sound like shit,
rough,
right? But I'm giving it to somebody who's a great singer. I'm assuming they're going to make it sound good, you know? I don't know.
But then he released it as his own record.
Bro, but his claim is basically that like the label put it out and didn't really like get back to him and like make sure that it was cool, you know, which I can imagine that as well. That makes sense.
Didn't they get like crazily like raped in their first deal?
Apparently they signed a really bunk deal.
Yeah,
to like a lawyer.
To a lawyer or something. Yeah, I heard about
it.
It
was Jay that signed it, I think.
And when I tried to bring that up to Namir, he like wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So apparently it's a sore subject.
You know, I think it was a big point of contention between, because he had alluded previously to like, yeah, Jay got us in this situation. Like he had signed the deal. And the dude tried to trademark YBN under his name and get ownership of it. And like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
They ain't get court.
See some little kids from Alabama. And
literally.
I'm like, damn, they really be handling niggas like that. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it don't matter who you shoot. You never get nothing back that you signed over.
I think in 2024,
you can kill up the world.
This isn't like the time. Like most people know that to not sign it. Most people wouldn't get in that situation. I feel like nowadays, like there's way too much information out there. Like they were like you said, these are kids from Alabama.
Man,
you know what I mean?
I see people trying to sell their soul in a DM. Like, bro, you don't got to give me shit. Like, you got to be ass talking like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want nothing. You just want me to put out your music. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do? If I don't give you money, definitely not giving you a budget. I don't believe it. Like, what the fuck?
Donnie, can you bring up the titles or the topics again?
I know. Are we going to talk about bro and him?
Who?
Tony?
Tony who? Oh, yeah. You want to get into the Hinchcliffe drama?
Yeah.
I would love to talk about this. I interviewed Tony Hinchcliffe a long time ago. I'm a big fan. I think he's a hilarious comedian. He basically was brought out to speak at a Donald Trump rally.
You said,
and you want to see who Tony Hinchcliffe is? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who Hinchcliffe is because now it's getting serious.
You would like this dude, Bricc. He's really funny and is basically he has the biggest comedy podcast in the world. It's called Kill Tony.
Yeah. And so basically his podcast is like in front of a large audience.
I've seen that face before.
Okay, let's just play this clip. Listen to this.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right.
What?
Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. It is absolutely wild times.
Wait, but I want to
really, really.
I want to see this one.
Yeah, that's just part of it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch the full thing, but there's
that's the most salacious comment, and he's about to show you the other one right now.
There's one where this is the one that was widely viewed as mega racist. Maybe if can I filter it to shorts?
I know exactly what he said in worst case scenario.
What I can't search by shorts, huh? That's odd. Maybe it's because they know it's racist.
So what he said essentially was like, oh, it's about to be Halloween. Like where's my black people?
Maybe if you click shorts and then type it in.
Yeah, but does that
Donald Trump asked?
Yeah. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be the same results. But like, why does it shows news and it doesn't show shorts? And then what? Do I have to like just scroll forever to get to the shorts?
He basically made a joke about like black people carving watermelons instead of pumpkins for Halloween.
Huh?
That's like the joke that he made.
No.
Yeah, dead serious. That's exactly what it was.
That's why it's not popping up.
Yeah.
Damn, you think that they might be like blocking? I mean, honestly, like
that's
feel like
what he said.
The fact that I'm Googling it and not able to find a link to it right away is kind of shocking to me. Like maybe they're doing a little voodoo to make it so you can't find it. I don't know. For some, it's all about the Puerto Rico.
If you watch the whole, because here's the thing is like the fact that he said that in New York was, I don't think that joke, because he says a bunch of really wild shit and he's like a very unhinged comedian. which, like we appreciate and love him for. But saying that in New York is like hella tone deaf. That'd be like coming to LA and making a joke about Mexicans, or like Mexico, the country, being a shithole or whatever.
Puerto Rico, you doing that in New York, talking about Puerto Rico?
But if it's a
crazy.
good joke, I honestly feel like I have enough faith in the Mexicans of Southern California that if the joke was funny and was clearly a joke,
island of trash,
that they're not going to be the ones who want to like really throw a fucking tantrum about it. Like, I don't know. To me, all these jokes that are being viewed as hate speech are funny as fuck. And when I see Jon Stewart taking the same position, I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. Because, listen, I've voted Democrat my entire life, but I do not want to be a part of the party that is the party of getting offended by jokes. Now, granted, when you tell an edgy joke at a comedy club, you've filtered your audience to be largely people who understand comedy, and they understand that when you make a joke that's edgy and refers to Puerto Rico as an island, a pile of trash, whatever, that it's meant as a joke. I'm sure Tony Hinchcliffe has been to Puerto Rico, or at the very least knows a bit about it and knows that it's a perfectly nice place.
RNC though.
Exactly, but
that's the only thing. That's the only thing that makes it a little fucked up.
I think it's funny. That's all.
I mean, if he told that joke and we was all in the room, it was a couple black guys, couple white guys, and he told the joke, okay, that's cool. Or if he's at his show, you at the rally with the KKK, man.
No, Donald Trump is not a member of the KKK.
But they support.
For
I'm
sure,
talking about the people in the crowd. I wasn't even talking about Donald Trump.
I also am so open-minded that I don't even think that the average Trump voter is racist.
No,
I don't either. The average is, but not all of them.
I think plenty are. I think if you're a racist, then you're almost certainly voting for Donald Trump. But I don't think that, like, when you see a Trump rally, you know how many fucking Hispanic people there probably were in that audience? And granted, yeah, some of them were certainly offended. And also, it doesn't help that people like Bad Bunny came out and like pretty much immediately endorsed Kamala Harris. Like after this came out, like you could tell that the like Puerto Rican Illuminati group chat got lit up with like all these people saying like, yo, we have to speak out against Trump now. It definitely activated a lot of people.
I think just being edgy for the sake of being edgy isn't creative, at the end of the day. I think he's a funny enough dude as where he's one of the things that I admire about Tony is his ability to read a crowd and know how to execute. And that was just a huge misstep. I don't know who wrote that. Shit. I don't know who like put that together.
The crowd loved it.
No, they didn't.
It's the media.
In that clip, to me, it sounded like they were all laughing, but then I've seen it portrayed as him bombing online.
Hold on. I watched the whole clip, and there's moments where overall, yeah, he was killing it. That Puerto Rico joke got a terrible. No, they were booing him, and he was like, "Whoa!" His response was like, "Oh, okay," and you could see he was visibly shaken. You know what I mean? Which Tony barely ever breaks character. You know what I mean? He looked a little taken aback, and then like his next joke he did that landed was a Diddy joke, and he's like, "Oh, okay, now we're cooking with grease," because he for a while, He made
What about when he said watermelon? Because there's no black people there.
No,
so
I feel like
they had a solid 10%.
No, it didn't get
like a 5.
That one also was kind of like a mixed reaction. Like there's for sure like the Karens in the crowd were like, ha 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 ha, you know what I mean? Like, and then there was like people were like, you know what I mean? Because Puerto Ricans, a lot of them at least identify with black people. You know what I'm saying? Like they're included under the Black Israelite umbrella. So
the more I think about it, the more that I think that the Puerto Rico joke in particular is not the funniest joke I've ever heard. Because think about the setup. Oh, there's a burning pile of trash in the middle of the ocean. Okay, but then you say it's Puerto Rico, and it's like, I don't know, like what was I supposed to be led to believe the punchline was going to be based on the premise? Like,
this is my whole shit.
I think actually like my brain kind of got fooled into thinking that it was funnier than it was just because it was so offensive that my brain didn't stop to think like, okay, well, is this joke funny? And also I heard that he was workshopping that joke at a comedy club in New York the night before. He had performed that joke trying to get a feel for what the audience would think, and that there was like a shitty reaction in the comedy club while he did it
again.
That being said, I and a huge percentage of Trump voters, I think like fall into the category of like, if there's a joke that's told and it's offensive, I want to be on the side of people who are saying it's like, you know, nobody should be canceled for their offensive joke. That's something that I feel strongly about.
For sure.
Now, granted, there's plenty of offensive jokes that I've probably been offended by, but it's not like I want to see that person lose their job either.
I agree with that 1,000%, and I would hate to see that happen to Tony. I'm a huge fan. However, it doesn't mean that I have to think the joke's funny just because it was edgy or just because you don't deserve to be canceled from it. And it also displays a great deal of ineptitude on the Trump administration. In my opinion, as someone that really wants to rock with Trump, you feel me? Because I'm not going to support the bitch that locked telling my homies up under any circumstances. I don't give a fuck. You feel me? Like, I'm just. Wait, what do you mean? That's not fake news.
She didn't lock anybody up. But okay, wait.
I mean, she convicted.
Oh my God, I knew somebody was going to remember. You literally tried to cancel Dina Hashner's joking about ex's death. Speak on that, Adam. That is a very good point. That was like 2018. That was a long time ago. It's been 6-7 years. Doesn't count. But yes, for sure that happened.
But regardless of that, like, it just shows a great deal of ineptitude in the Trump administration that they would allow something like that to happen, considering Trump throwing the toilet paper to the survivors of the hurricane and in Puerto Rico. It's like, damn, like they already think you don't give a fuck about them. One of your biggest policies is about immigration. You're on their helmet super tough. And now you're going to go ahead.
But Puerto Ricans aren't immigrants.
No, I know they're not. I'm not, but still against like overall Latino people, you feel me? Like,
and that's why it's easier to joke on the Puerto Ricans than like the Haitians.
Yeah.
Right.
Where their country is right now probably much closer to being an island of trash.
Yeah.
But he's straight up
all fucked up.
He did throw toilet paper at the people, you feel me? Like he literally physically threw toilet paper at the people from Puerto Rico, you feel me? And all that. So there's already like this image of him that's,
I mean, was he there to pass out toilet paper or water?
It was like a PR thing. It's like Blueface throwing up the $1,000 of Skid Row. You feel me?
Which I filmed, and just recently on Snapchat, that was suggested to me as a memory, and I reposted those clips like that whole day. And somehow Snapchat's AI algorithm got that for like human abuse or some shit. Like somehow they knew that the clip of Blueface throwing out money on the homeless people was fucked up. Snapchat's AI is fucking incredible.
That is crazy.
I don't understand how it knew that.
Before you even uploaded it.
Well, I uploaded it, and then they pretty much like immediately were like, no, you can't monetize this content, or this isn't viewable.
You got all the haters in your shit trying to strike you.
No, but it's like before that.
Was it previously flagged maybe? And that's why?
I think it's like the first time. It's definitely the first time I uploaded it in the new form of Snapchat. Let me just say, it seems like a consensus with nearly everybody that Trump is going to win. Somehow I'm even like a little caught up in the momentum of like, you know what? Whatever. I don't care. Like I was really like worried about Trump winning last time. No, I just don't give a shit anymore. I'm just like so over. I paid less attention to this election than any election in my lifetime. And I'm including like when I was a child. Like when I was like 12, watching Bill Clinton run was like exhilarating for me.
Yeah.
That is all gone. I do not give a fuck about this election. I'm a little worried about Trump, I guess, but not much.
I feel like it's somewhat inconsequential.
Yeah, I don't know like what else he can do that's fucked up. Like shit. He got 4 more years, man. You know what I mean? I know that he's gonna try to buy us back though. That's Trump's character.
Buy what back?
The hood.
Some stimulus packs.
Yeah, the hood.
Shoot the skinny.
Let me get you right, my boy.
Do you think
car got cut off early? They gotta get that back pay going. Not just playing.
Can he give a presidential pardon to Durk Banks?
That's honestly,
because I would appreciate that.
He would have my vote tomorrow. Either candidate.
For sure.
Yeah.
Either candidate.
If he goes on stage with a free Durk joint, he definitely wins.
It feels like Durk's charges are too serious for him to do that.
He's a felon already.
Murder, you know? Like, are you allowed to just pardon a murderer?
They clearly haven't heard this what they want.
Can you just sit in office? You can't even work at fucking McDonald's with a felony. You mean the fuck you can run the whole fucking country?
Yeah.
This shit is crazy. You can't rent an apartment with a felony, but you can be the fucking top dog of the whole world with one.
Okay. When I think about it, it's like my main worry about Trump is that he's not going to choose to leave office. He's not agreeing to a peaceful transfer of power. Very worrisome. He seems like he's probably going to use his power as president to like prosecute his enemies and like to basically make life hell for everybody who disagrees with him, which I think is very fucked up. But if you really think about it, you have on one hand woke annoying, shrill, laughing hyena woman. And then on the other side, you have asshole guy, edgy sense of humor, committed a lot of crimes, possibly of compromised moral character. Which one sounds more like me?
If you put
Donald Trump.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
looking pretty familiar.
You survived the fucking shooting. You knew you were about to lose. You sent your goons inside of the, like, if they let him be the president after January 6th, like, what is the world even? That's what I'm like. How could they even elect him after January 6th?
The fact that he talked his way out of that. After that, we thought we were never going to hear about this guy again. We thought he was going to have to go be a TV personality.
An insurrection is crazy.
He's back.
He's back.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you see Biden falling and our country being led by somebody that should be in a convalescent
literally
center with somebody next to him damn near all day.
Administering meds for
Exactly,
Pappy.
yeah. Like, not like that. I'm not trying to say nothing bad, but like that's what state of
No, like he can't even
he's
complete
in.
a coherent conversation.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. And I'm worried about his mental fortitude as well, because when he was on Joe Rogan, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw somebody clipped him saying that he was on Oprah last week. Oprah has been off the air for like 12 years.
wait, what? Trump on Rogan said
He said something about when I was on Oprah a couple weeks ago or some shit.
Biden said that?
Trump.
Oh, so his shit's starting to be.
She's been off the air for over a decade. That's worrisome. 10 years. If I did that, think about how people would regard me, and I'm not exactly trying to be president. So I don't know. I mean, that kind of thing. It's like I'm kind of like just worried about like where his brain is at.
Yeah, because he's been going through some shit.
Well, here's the thing.
He's like he's already what, 70 plus?
He's 80.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
80,
Damn near, fool. He's got to be like
70 plus.
79, fool. Like, well,
78.
78.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
pushing it, bro. Like, I don't know too many steppers at 80, man, but he's a stepper though.
And my perspective of him changed a lot from hearing Joe Rogan talk about him. Think about this. Every single time I do a podcast, if it's 90 minutes, I pee beforehand and then I pee right after, and I'm drinking liquid the whole time. Rogan said that Trump didn't pee before the podcast, didn't drink anything during the podcast, and then left the studio without peeing. That's after a 3-hour interview. That's mind-blowing.
Is it possible he had a diaper on?
Wow, that is actually really interesting. But
Yeah.
even being able to talk for 3 hours without drinking anything, like how does your mouth not get insanely dry? Although honestly, it's making me think I haven't really drank a lot. I've been drinking this coffee, but
Presidential Versace diapers for
yo,
Trump.
but a diaper would be super. God,
It might be their policy that you don't use their bathrooms.
wow,
like
he's
in
got
places
Secret
that
Service
you
with
go-
him
yeah,
to guard the
It
bathroom.
might have already been planted up. You know what I mean?
No, literally, I'm sure Secret Service probably came into the building and fucking searched
Cases
the
the whole
bathroom and
joint.
checked out the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
joint.
yeah.
And but you know what pisses me off so much is I'm seeing so
but
many
they
people.
let old boys shoot at him though.
So many people saying, well, that was outside the perimeter that they were guarding.
Oh, okay.
But-
All right.
So Rogan's deal with Kamala is that she wanted him to go to her to do an hour-long interview. His perspective was, no, you can come to me and we need to do like however long we do. I want it to probably be multiple hours. And I don't want there to be anything that I can't ask about. And she's basically like refusing to agree to those terms.
Well, Joe loves Trump.
But now people are on his helmet, on Joe Rogan's helmet, saying that he's the most pompous, spoiled brat in the world because he won't go to her. Trump came to him. You're playing by his game. Kamala Harris just did Club Shay Shay. Cool. You could go. You could go do his thing. But if you want to fuck with Rogan, you got to come and play by his rules. And people are acting like he's so spoiled. She should be lucky that he's honestly even considering doing it, given the fact that she ran one of the least successful presidential campaigns in the history of candidates. People forget about this. She's basically like the substitute for an already extremely unpopular presidential candidate in the form of Biden. She's now in the mix only because of the fact that and listen, people call it racist when you call her a DEI hire, diversity, equity, inclusion, because she got, but I don't think it's racist. And the reason why is because before they picked her, Biden said that he was limiting his choice of vice president to a woman.
Yeah.
And I believe he even specified that he was primarily looking to pick a woman of color.
Okay.
Well, there's,
Yeah.
there's nothing
Because it
else
was-
that could
it was
excite
during
them.
What
the
else
B-
could you call it other than a DEI?
It was BLM time.
It's not that she's not competent in some way, but there's probably a lot of dudes that could have taken that vice president role that would be absolutely annihilating Trump in the polls right now.
Yeah.
Because let's remember that Trump is not a terribly popular presidential
No.
candidate. He's just doing very well
Where's
in comparison
Hillary?
to her. Yeah, another one of the least
Yeah, she can
popular
sit on the
presidential
bench, too.
candidates of all time. But if Biden had chosen just like some random fucking standard ass Democrat, we probably wouldn't really be worried about Trump winning right now. We'd probably be just accepting that the Democrat was going to win because she's just not very popular. And when you watch her, like, bro, she falls apart under the slightest scrutiny. It's fucking bad.
Yeah. Well, I think that also people don't realize as far as the Joe Rogan thing, for him to interview her, she has to approve the questions beforehand, right? He's not going to be able to do a no holds barred interview with her.
She discussed things that she didn't want to be asked, and he basically said, "No, I don't play by those rules." And I think that's probably wise. But she's not a competent enough public speaker. She can't go into the chamber with Joe Rogan for 3 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so much shit she's gonna stumble on because he's going to ask her. He's going to ask her like,
curved it some.
no, he's going to ask her. This is the shit that she can't handle. He's going to say, "Why did you say that you think that undocumented illegal immigrants who are in prison should have their gender reassignment surgery paid for?" And she's got to either say that she thinks that's a good idea, or she's got to say, "I changed my mind. I was kind of caught up in what was going on in 2020, and I don't actually think that illegal aliens who are in prison should have their gender reassignment surgery paid for," which seems like it should be a pretty easy thing to say. But that's an example of something that I cannot imagine her sitting across from him and having him ask those questions.
Yeah.
He would go
Yeah.
he would go harder on her than he went on Trump because him and
for
Trump
sure.
agree on a whole lot of
No,
shit.
but that's the whole point, is because he has like a lot of points of contention with her. He doesn't like her at all. So he wouldn't be able to give the interview. So what's the point? His audience would look at him as a sellout for even doing the interview to begin with.
Mm.
Unless he was able to. Right. So what's the point of him going to her to do it? If she
Joe
would,
Rogan, Sharp, Kamala Harris.
Listen here, bitch.
Joe, I'm doing PR work for Sharp, man. I know you know who that is.
Oh man. Yeah, he's gonna be so pissed when we put out our songs and I don't say anything about him.
huh? Well, you know.
Not gonna necessarily be able to say this about everybody here, but
Can you just imagine Joe Rogan just going on a tear and then Sharp like, "Yeah, bitch, you don't agree with the pimping, bitch. So yeah, man, what's wrong? What about a bitch coming home and giving her significant other some money to invest in and live properly? Says that it's sex trafficking, bitch."
Kamala's like, well, actually,
nah, Church, because you want me to vote for you, Church.
yo. That's crazy that Spiffy Luciano just like burnt his 22-ster bridge.
was that it? Is all bad for the
Oh,
speaker?
it's all
burnt
bad.
your spiffy bridge in Atlanta. He
Yeah.
wasn't cool enough to vlog with you.
Listen, we were very busy. I'm not going to the Boosie compound for you. I'm sorry.
You know what I mean?
You know, it's like, you're cool, but it's like, you know,
Is Boosie at the Boosie compound?
probably not as much as Spiffy Luciano is.
Spiffy Hall.
Spiffy hard. I just like,
Spiffy hard.
I feel like when you look
That boy hard.
when you look at LA, I don't think anyone has ever supported Spiffy Luciano in any way besides me. Who else?
Dejan Paul, right?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah.
C plus.
Like,
If
bro,
Spiffy got a C+, he definitely hit.
I sat across from Whack 100 saying things so fucked up about Spiffy Luciano that I won't even repeat them here, as much as I am not a fan of this guy anymore. Whack said things that were terrible about him, and I sat here and tried to defend his ass.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I feel like
Then he said, "You see what I did to Zoe? Like, you didn't win that. What are you talking about?"
Bro, when you go look at the view counts on those songs, it's actually astounding. How did you put out a diss about a popular LA rapper and get like 5,000 views, 1,000 views. Like that's like astonishing.
I felt like he did
Even
not.
Sharp did like 50K on his diss track. That's like 10,
and that's on
20
audio.
times. Yeah.
He probably had a video and all that shit to the.
I'm not gonna bring up the numbers again because it was so fucking bad when I looked at it the other day. But
He probably would. Spiffy wouldn't even do the video. I feel like he's like did not want to be on that song. He didn't really want to be dissing fools.
Oh,
like,
he will do the video. You got to think, what's bigger in his career? This might be the biggest beef he's entered his whole career.
We're actually
sure.
doing a huge service.
Yes.
To like the washed up rapper
This is
community.
what he did
like,
it for. Like, nigga, I
yeah.
can't get the other promo.
yeah,
Gotta get the free promo.
That's why. So there's a couple shots might have been taken on this free Durk song that people that could use a stimulus pack. So just know that it's charity. It ain't coming from a place of hate.
it has been rumored.
And I don't even want to beef with you, Spiffy. I'm gonna keep it 600. We ain't even beefing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not we're not
I'm not
beefing, but
beefing
for
with
sure,
you.
never ask me to do anything for you ever again.
Yeah, because you kind of sneak this, so you got it. When I see you, it's pure. I understand why. You got to don't miss your moment. You know what I mean? But you got to accept what comes with not missing your moment.
I just look at things from like the rap perspective, and I just think it's fun. Like anybody could diss me really on a song, and I'm not gonna take offense. I'll diss you back. Like that's just me though. I'm not a.
I think you should hang it up. I think now would be a good time to stop rapping.
Yeah, peace.
Or just leave it alone.
Wait,
He about
they
here.
use my fucking Krishan Rock, right?
What?
They use my clip and didn't give me no type of. That's what they do out here.
Oh, I didn't even watch this. You want to watch this?
Yeah, as if Bricc wasn't viral enough.
But look, that's me interviewing her in the bathroom of her hotel. Oh, Krishan Watt talks about it. Taseki, they just leaked something about Taseki talking about it too.
Bitch, you're going to fucking jail. Defamation of character.
Remember when I was 7? You made me eat your pussy.
You said what? I'm done talking. Bitch, you're going to fucking jail. Defamation of character.
I remember when I was 7, you made me eat your pussy. Wow. See, okay, this is why you should not become part of a reality show, because they're going to take your childhood molestation and turn it into a trailer for next week's episode.
With your baby in your hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You made me eat your pussy. Like, what the fuck goes on? Like, they got to keep liquor away from that circle of bitches. That shit is getting toxic.
What the fuck?
Rock, that's she cool. That's
Wow.
no, but they just leaked another. It was like something on like a couple blog pages about Taseki opening up about the rumor, but she opened up on the interview with me, and it was like all over these like girl T pages.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
like
They weren't tagging you or
They
anything?
took her picture of her and Krishan Rock and tried to block my face out of it, but like the camera turned so you could kind of see me. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
No, I seen the clip with you in it. It looked like in a dressing room or type.
Yeah,
thing
we
or
was just
whatever,
in the
like-
bathroom in her hotel room while she was getting ready for the reunion of Baddies.
Yeah, and like you see the reaction. This fool's face is like it's the same reaction you had as when you found out about the Durk indictment. You made the same face.
I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
what's going on?
This is
Like,
why
you
I'm
about
pressing
to
a
talk
big baby.
about-
Find out.
The feds.
No,
The
you okay?
feds?
Hold on. Let me tell you why the squint was up.
The feds.
When I looked this way and those lights and that glare is right there, that's when I did this.
Yeah.
And then I seen this shit. I'm like, and I'm still trying to read it. And Lush is not responding to me. I'm like, the feds picked him up. He's mid conversation. They don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm
Right.
just, hey, why y'all didn't say the feds?
I think it's when the paint or the you feel me like yeah,
Yeah.
chopping up with them folks.
Should I tell you guys about why Caribou called me?
Please.
I know I left you guys hanging about this the other day.
Yeah, that's pretty
Let me explain.
YAG of you.
So, are you in hot water? You called out YG on the Big Facts podcast. Anything happen from that?
I mean,
I seen a few people yapping
I
about it.
know I'm
but
a cloud chaser.
You didn't. Okay. Why Jizzle didn't tap in?
I'm a cloud chaser.
Got it. So Caribou hits me up and says, "What's your number?" I send her my number. She calls me, or maybe she sent me her number. I forget exactly how it went, but we hop on the phone. I'm thinking there's so many things that she might be about to say to me because we've talked about her a bunch on here, right? And she says, "Why did you tell Yachty that my team was buying promo from you?" Now, what she's referring to is a couple months ago, there was a post posted on No Jumper's Instagram, and now I cannot go find it right now because our Instagram is obviously down, but I saw this post and it was something about like the theme of the post was something like, look how good Caribou's career is doing right now, even though she's not with Yachty anymore. It was basically just the gist of it was like, look how great she's doing. Look at how her numbers are doing, whatever. When I saw it, I actually messaged Josh and I said, or I messaged the news team and I said, what the fuck is this post? Because to me, it was a story that was like kind of old. It was like a few days earlier, this might have been a relevant thing to post. And to me, it just seemed hella dick suckerish. Like, why are we posting this like random positive news fact about Caribou when we already posted all this like actually interesting shit about Caribou over the course of the past few days? And I was told by the team that this content was paid for, that her team had reached out and purchased this positive promotion. So I said, okay, I get it then. Makes sense. Then Yachty ends up hitting me up soon after that, basically being like, I forget exactly how we got into the conversation, but he's basically saying like, I feel like you be doing hater shit. And my response to Yachty is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like there's been so many times where I felt like I took the pro Yachty position.
We show nothing but love to Yachty.
I feel like I show him a lot of fucking love. And especially when you consider the fact that his first interview was on New Jumper. I've been around Yachty a shitload of times over the years. I feel like we've always had a cool relationship. I never questioned him when he unfollowed me a couple years ago. I never, I don't like to be the guy asking like, why'd you unfollow me? So I just didn't even say anything about it. I'm assuming we're still cool. But he's acting like I am like actively forming a fucking campaign against Yachty by posting this pro Caribou shit. And I tell him, this is like a paid post, whatever. He like barely even responds or whatever. I guess him and her finally get to talking a couple of days ago, which is interesting because that leads you to believe like, okay, there's communication behind the scenes.
Reconciliation?
Well, to the public, it seems like they don't have anything to do with each other. The most recent headline about them was like, oh, look, Yachty took his chains back because she shot like a music video with no chains. So they're whatever.
Yeah, and she put out a real
she did
song.
the DDG podcast too.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. She probably talked about that. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, at some point in communication with Yachty, he must have said, why is your team buying posts on No Jumper saying shit that makes me look bad? And so she wanted to make it very, very clear to me that her team, nor her PR team, et cetera, has ever bought promotion on any page ever. Now,
wow.
I can't really
a fan.
like it would be easy normally for me to like go into the archive and say like, oh, okay, this is the post that they're talking about, and to find a receipt proving it. I highly doubt that Josh was lying to me or that Josh was confused when Josh said, oh, it was paid for by their team. Because the thing is like for a post to be paid for, it's almost never going to be paid for by the artist. It's almost always going to be paid for by their team or somebody on their team.
Right.
Typically from our perspective.
Adam, is this the same person that said that Yachty didn't write her raps, who he then went and provided reference tracks?
That is
to those
a strong
exact
point.
Bars?
It's a strong point, Lush.
Is that you lied to me, Lush-esque to you?
You lied to me, Caribou.
You lied to me, Cara. And it's I've been like, was damn near a Caribou stan for a second, was pushing her line hella heavily and was disappointed.
You love a bitch with a drug problem.
I love a bitch with a drug problem. That's openly talking about it, and like, but
not in my second 30.
Yeah, you feel me? She was talking that shit. Like when
when
she talked about feeling,
guys.
What about a 10?
You can't snort a 10.
What about a first 10? I gotta do something to keep me going tonight.
Yeah, you ready?
The first 10.
Ready? What about our second 30? Nobody's on their second 30.
About to be 60. About to be 60.
Nah. These 30s give me blue snot. That feels like a million years ago.
A month and a half.
A month ago. Because we recorded it 2 months ago. Yeah. You have a 60-day. We haven't even, Atlanta wasn't even 60 days ago.
Nah. Yeah, but it was over a month ago.
Yeah.
Because I was watching that spike in my YouTube analytics from that Woody interview for a while, and it slowly goes away. And you're like, I remember that.
Yeah.
Officially now, this tenure of mine at No Jumper has been a longer one than my previous like
Really?
If you don't include like the disaster era,
Uh.
which it was like basically I would come through like once a month. You know what I mean?
I
Or
saw
once a-
Disaster the other day waiting for you outside, and I didn't mention the fact that he and I unfollowed each other in the aftermath of the Lush explosion.
I'd like to rebuild that bridge because you know what? If it was not that you would, because I feel bad that both of my friends had a falling out on my account because you guys were cool. And in fact, I would have never even been on No Jumper if it wasn't for Diz.
I think I was just talking shit about you to him as if he was going to agree with it.
Yeah, that's exactly that's literally what happened. Like you hit him up, was like, yo, what's wrong with your boy? And then he was like, actually had my back and stood tall. You feel me? And like, and then
Yeah.
But he harbors no hateful.
He said he harbors no hate.
This is my last thing that I really want to talk about before we go, is the fact that, okay, so basically, this is a very interesting part that some
His
people
bitch ass still talk about this.
Yeah, but he's definitely still talking about it. But okay,
This is a bitch.
let me lay the situation out before I actually press play on this clip. So basically, like DJU, 16 shot him, and J Mane at some point right before that legendary phone call between J Mane and Lil Durk came out. It was agreed upon that they were all going to make an appearance at this Durk concert in Chicago, and that they were going to basically like do content with Durk in some way. At some point, DJU kind of gets into a role where he has more control over how this goes down, and he tells OTF, Durk, etc., basically, I don't want 16 shot him there. Now, the petty way to look at it would just be to say, oh, look, he's using his position with OTF to basically ruin opportunities for somebody like 16. The more understandable version of it is, well, 16 talks shit about him consistently and has basically like not shown DJU any love. So from DJU's perspective, it's like he doesn't look at him as a valid peace pusher, so he doesn't want him there. Makes sense to me.
He owes him that.
The concert happens. 16 shot him, gets left on red by Durk about 2 weeks before the concert starts. And so
he lost his phones.
He's there. He's in Chicago. He lost his phones. That was right before the indictment. And keep in mind, this is like the final act in Durk's career before the indictment comes down. He was only free for a couple more days after this, which is just so crazy.
In Florida with his family.
That this is how it all kind of came crashing down. Was 16 involved with the takedown? Is he one of the co-conspirators? I don't know. It's possible. Anyway.
Wow.
So 16, even though he didn't get a text response from Durk, he still flies to Chicago, make sure that he's there. He hires security, takes time off from work. He has his friends take time off, and then basically gets informed, you are not invited.
Might as well buy a ticket, bro.
They do the event. DJU gets brought out on stage along with J Mane, and they have a good time. They're throwing out cereal, whatever. And they make a big vlog. It's like a 40-minute vlog on DJU's channel. And in the first minute of the vlog, DJU uses the occasion to take shots at 16 shot him about not being there. Some would say that this is him not taking the high road. I think that that is accurate. However, you can't hate on somebody who wants to smash on their ops. Now, 16 finds out about this. He sees it. There's also another scene in the vlog in which they're kind of like naming off the top Chicago content creators, right? And they start to go outside of like DJU and J Mane, who are kind of like the top two guys out there making content in terms of views and everything right now. And they start to name Truth Teller and this guy. And someone says 16 shot him. And J Mane's response is like, well, shit, we just naming anybody. Like, basically throw shade on him. So
to be fair, 16 is in that conversation.
He's
Objectively.
in the conversation, but like, what's the last time he had like a relevant interview that moved the culture at all?
It's been
My
like,
whole
I would
thing
say
is,
King Lil J. That was like the best one he had.
The Cairo thing obviously was his masterclass.
How-
He did Vaughn's first interview. That's a big deal. But since then, he's basically like ceded ground to DJU and J Mane. There's so many relevant rappers that he could have interviewed over the last year.
How much of a girl are you to get mad because you didn't get an invite to Durk's concert? Like, you act like this is the end of Pusha Peace. This was supposed to be my big moment. I was gonna walk out on stage.
Now he's a
at
warmonger.
the arena.
Yeah, and why would he think that he was going to be included in that when he's got real issues with DJU? Like, if DJU's got some real sway in this whole conversation, what are we talking about?
Well, he probably thinks
sure.
we pushing peace for real, and we trying to be above this, and like maybe it's like his opportunity to squash the beef.
So I'm gonna read the captions before we actually watch this. I see J Main. Oh, so there's actually 2 posts. I see J Main with that shit too. I hate you dick sucking ass N-words. Motherfuckers just be putting themselves in shit they don't got nothing to do with. It's really me versus everybody. Fuck all you N-words, goofy ass N-words, fake pushing peace because they don't want to die. Damn. So 16 is kind of like relenting on his content creator role, and he's saying that he might be the reason why J Main dies.
Damn.
Which is crazy because I don't think anybody would support that
At all.
at all. So okay, let's actually hear this.
You was going to the shit with security though, like you just some big shit. Like
Yeah, and I went on that rant the other day, but yeah, definitely.
Like, come on.
That stardom level, that level of success, you need the J Main Whoops interview or you need the DJU.
Or 16 shot.
Oh, you need the 16?
Or 16.
Okay, okay, all right.
I also just want to say at this point, DJU, I'm proud of you and everything, but why does this shirt look like you just saved a dying kitten from a burning building? I'm at least a little bit confused about that. This is a strange.
That's a style.
Is that swagoo? I understand like you distress a shirt to make it look cooler.
It looks like they just ran that through the alley real quick.
Yeah, this to me is it's like kind of like a
they
cropped
cleaned some
shirt
shit
too. It's like
It's cropped.
It's cropped a little
for
too
sure.
much. I don't know.
Don't forget about 16.
Oh, my bad. So look. If that's the case, let's throw Truth Teller in there too. And that's the case, let's throw Kyle Controversial Star Records in there too. I mean, if we just saying anybody, we can say anybody. Nah, shout out to everybody who doing the media in Chicago, man. We is over.
So keep in mind, he spent all this money to be there. He's not going to be there. And then these 2 dudes, one of whom he's supposed to be on good terms with, is using the opportunity to basically just totally shit on him.
J
and
Man
just-
did shit on him. He's a funny guy.
He said we're just naming anybody.
No, yeah, that's
But
shitting
then
on
he
him.
said, nah, shout out to the media.
But there's a lot of truth in that joke.
I am over whooping. Yeah, he just want to be so, he's mad at the world because he's not good at making content anymore. So anybody that pokes at it, my grandma told me something when I was a kid I didn't understand till I was older. She told me that a hit dog gonna holler every time. If you feel like something in the air hits you, you're gonna respond to it.
Right.
You get what I'm
So
saying?
he's butthurt in life, so any little thing, he go, yeah.
Can't control that emotion right there.
It's also like a little power play too, right? Like he ain't even on my level. Like,
But some people might be wondering why I have personally seemed to take so much enjoyment in this. And I'm going to be totally real with you. Like when this announcement first came out, 16 was the first person who was basically using it to try to form an anti-no jumper narrative to basically be like, ooh, look, me, J Main, and DJU, we're invited to the Durk concert. No Jumper is a bunch of culture vulture haters. They're not invited.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And so then you end up on your fucking couch watching just like the rest of us, except when I was on my couch watching, I didn't have a security guard next to me that I paid to watch my ass during it. Now, that means I do want to call attention to DJU, freshly out of a burning building. This is the first shot he takes at 16 that I also want to draw attention to.
Backstage, little Durk, you know you bad, smash. Boy, DJ, you go crazy, man. Woo! I'm a little excited, man. I'm a little excited about today, man. You know? Shout out over to Roy Dupertois, Loose Leaf, and all that. Turn it. Hey, shout out 16, shout out Visuals, too. Sorry you couldn't make it, bro.
Such a fucking drill rapper, just cannot, he can't be low key about it. He just has to zero in on him like that. I'm sorry.
Mind you, they in the media room. They're not even in the look at where they're at.
Yeah.
We know about backstage at arenas. When the curtains start going up, that's like the GP area of
They're
the backstage.
PC'd up, yeah.
And so that is the amendment that I did want to add to this is, I mean, honestly, this has been out for 3 days, 200K, very respectable views. Obviously, just being able to get brought out in front of that big of an audience for DJU and
Durk's last fucking
seems even crazier in retrospect. And he had to put this out after Durk got locked up, which was probably kind of an awkward feeling. But like J Main and DJU getting to come out during that concert, sick as fuck. Either way, I was a little surprised that based on this, there was no interview. There was no on camera hanging out. You do get to see DJU take a photo with Durk real quick, but it's quick. It's not like a drawn out thing.
It's like Trump.
You know, and that did kind of stand out to me as like, okay, so if Durk wanted to embrace you the whole way, it would have looked a little different from this.
Let me stop you real quick. Now throw this one in there. Durk knows that he can possibly go to jail tonight. The whole move back there had to be kind of off. Even like Duty posted a clip like, it's your birthday, Durk, baby. He like, hey, go crazy. Like you can tell, like on your birthday, you posted it.
He not turned.
But his boys hadn't been indicted yet at this point.
No, but what I'm saying, you remember when they said they thought that they were gonna come pick everybody up at the concert?
Who said that?
That was a narrative when the news first came, when we were covering it on last Thursday. It was alleged that he had some type of comprehension that they would be getting up on him soon. So he thought that was going to be the last outing or something. That was whatever the fans for him.
It was a surprise to us when the indictment came down. Chances are for Durk, it was probably less of a surprise. There's probably at least some stuff he had seen that had tipped him off to it.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah.
But like what you're saying though, essentially with him like taking the brief photo, it's kind of like Durk is the beyond that being like a somber tone because he might be wrapped up.
Yeah, it could be him like, man, I ain't fucking with nobody.
But even
tonight.
beyond
I got
that,
my kids close. Like,
but when I'm watching him perform, when I watch Durk perform in this, he seemed fine. Now, granted, like you could put on a happy face for an hour and a half on stage or whatever, but he seems like he was in kind of a jolly mood.
Well, that's a consummate professional right there.
Yeah,
he's
what he's
supposed to do.
Like he doesn't do this every night.
That's Smirky.
And that adrenaline when people showing that much love to you, it's going. You're gonna brighten up regardless once you feel that love.
But it's also even, let's say that this wasn't even in the air. It's kind of like the same thing as Kendrick allowing OGZ and Zoe Osama and these dudes to rap for 30 seconds, but then like they're not really in the mix with him like that. Like, and there wasn't really in the aftermath who's really getting pushed by Kendrick. It's kind of like the Chicago version of that, damn near.
The pop-up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
it's
same
like
thing.
we pushing peace, but pushing peace don't mean that we best friends. That means that we're waving a white flag. We're all agreeing to not shoot each other anymore. That don't mean that we go rap together and kick it with each other every day after this.
Yeah.
It means that the issues that we have, they no longer exist, but you can stay on your side, I'm going to stay on mine.
A temporary ceasefire.
It's not like after they start pushing peace, Wooski and all them was coming on tour.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean? Like, that's never going to happen.
But here's a question, though, Adam and Bricc. Why did 16 in his head think that he had enough jug with them as to where that he would be embraced?
I think he was included in the conversation at some point in the lead up to this. Like that there was a reason why 16 thought that Durk was going to bring him out.
So that's it's like, who does that really make look? And look, I'm just looking at this from the outside objectively. Like, does that really make him look super crazy? Or
I mean, honestly, like it doesn't. If he actually had a legitimate reason to believe that he was going to get brought out, then it's not that surprising. But at the end of the day, I mean, really, like nothing needs to happen to make 16 look pathetic because that's just kind of like his whole vibe at this point, or what? So look at his Twitter feed is like all hate, and this is him taking shots at me. 2 likes, 4 likes. I think it's safe to say it's over. So look at this quote. That motherfucking couch cursed or something. Damn, what the fuck? He's basically talking about DJU's couch.
Yeah.
Because what's his name? Q50W Little 50. Yeah. He got killed right after he did an interview on DJU. So this is some more just like straight hating shit.
I think if you go on DJU and get at your ops any type of way, like you just up your rank on like we got to get him next.
Yeah.
And then they still be outside after that. It's like, you know that you just piss people off in front of the whole world.
Yeah.
And
but in particular, Chicago, because that's like a real Chicago platform, you know?
You piss the shit, your ops off in your area. You piss them off because you diss them to the whole world. So now you got to deal with their ego, and you way more popular than them. They can slide on you whenever. You can't.
Definitely. But look at these shots that he took at me, because this is him like, this is kind of like the thing that happened with Ruga, where it's like I say something about him on the podcast, and now he wants to fight. I hate when people play with me on a podcast that wouldn't play with me in real life. knowing what I will do to one of y'all. The shit really be blowing me that a motherfucker would even play like that, especially a motherfucker who ain't willing to stand on what they say and do. 16, let me explain something to you. I would dog walk your ass. The only reason why I'm not going to turn you into a pile of fucking roadkill on the ground is because I got better shit to do. You are a little boy. I'm a grown-ass man. Don't even pretend for a second that you could lay a hand on me, you little baby bird-looking fuck. Anyway, next tweet. But that's what happens when we allow those who are not of this culture to get too comfortable with it. They start to disrespect it and us. It's all fun and games till a motherfucker gets spanked. 16, disrespect it and us. Who's us? It's just you. You are on the outs. Nobody's fucking with you. You little weirdo.
UTV.
It's just you.
DJU. It's just DJU.
Yeah,
there's no 16 in Chicago media.
I hope that 16, I hope that he can at least take a step back from this and look at this and just be like, damn, I massively overplayed my hand and I really thought I had some juice that I didn't have and now I ruined my whole fucking thing. What the fuck is he gonna do now?
And guess what? When No Jumper News comes back, guess who's not invited?
Boom!
I feel like his whole descent started on No Jumper. If you really think about it, like
yeah, you got spit on. Who knew that Flacco was doing the Lord's work? I didn't know. I thought he was tripping. Whatever. We got to go shoot the video. It's almost an hour away, so let's end this stream right now.
I on hood.
On hood. Anybody need a ride? I got the whip.
I'm good. See y'all there.
Either way, all right, let's go. Guys, new video. What would Vaughn do? Possibly dropping tomorrow. Keep an eye out. Free Durk dropping as well soon, as well as another joint. We are the top rappers / podcasters in North America, as far as I'm concerned.
Easy call.
Ain't nobody else doing both like us.
They not like us.
Hey, and y'all see, I came ready. Got my Durk hoodie on and my Beverly Hills Gun Club. We not playing like in the slightest.
Free Smirkio.
Free Smirk.
Free Durk. Lock up 16 shot him.
He gave me the crip walk.
We out.
Oh, why